there's actually is a pretty easy way to explain Total War. It's just Total War is like a game where you have to fight a battle, but you just with whatever units you just have available to you.
So Fire Emblem?
A little bit. If Fire Emblem wasn't turn-based.
So Half-Minute Hero?
I don't know that game.
How did you know my nickname for Creep? Graham, I'm sorry, I love you.
I didn't even hear the rest. I just, as soon as I heard, how did you know my nickname?
I don't
Jordan,
mean that, honey.
The Half-Minute Hero. You're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot, and you haven't got a clue. Somehow I'll get the cum out of you.
Oh my goodness.
Squidward!
How did Squidward get in there?
I'm back.
How did Squidward get into that?
Because Clanky said, oh my goodness.
What? It's just an ordinary crabby. Oh my goodness!
Squidward!
Oh!
Hey.
This is gonna like slowly get more and more like what's the word? I'm cursed.
Listen to the Yearlies, the only podcast that's consistently rotting.
The only podcast that we didn't realize was a podcast.
The Yearlies 2015 is sponsored by the movie Hoops. Hoop it up! In theaters 20 years ago.
Jordan, I need to stress this because this was the wildest thing that has ever happened. Okay? When you said hoops that time, my mind I had like this weird psychosomatic thing where I felt spit hit me. Despite the fact that I am alone in a dry room.
I spit all the way to Long Island.
Oh my god.
Like, I felt it on my hand. I'm like, no, there's no way.
That's
The power
that's pretty scary.
Whoops.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
It is the year 2015. Yeah.
Yes, go on.
As we usually do when we do these yearlies, how about we go around and talk about what we were doing, what we were playing, how we were doing in the year 2015. Who wants to start?
I can go first. Or Mick, you can go
I heard.
first.
Oh, okay.
Nick was louder. Let Nick go.
All right,
Okay.
Mick, with trepidation. How was your 2015?
This was the year this was my gap year from college.
Yes, it was.
I didn't really do a lot this year.
Yeah.
It was a medical leave thing, so it wasn't like I was backpacking around Europe or anything fun. Yeah.
Wink.
No wink.
Oh, okay. Gap year is for you, man. Do what you need to do.
Well,
I hope you played
announced.
games.
It was. I mean, when you if you were say at college looking for a Mick in the dining hall every so often, it wasn't just like an announced thing like Mick's gone. It's like, well, where's Mick for like 3 months, and then it becomes, oh, that's where he is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know.
And then I came back in 2016. And well, we'll get to that eventually.
Yes, we will.
Incidentally, the reason I can't really talk about what I did this year is because almost all of it would be going into details about the video games I have to talk about.
Ah, okay.
Well, you still
good.
have your compromises. The beginner's guide is not.
Yeah.
That game is cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the beginner's guide came out this year.
I don't have a lot of developed thoughts about the beginner's guide, so I actually don't even know if I can really talk about it.
I mean,
And
it's
also, talking about it kind of ruins the experience.
Yeah. All I'll say
Beginner's
is it
Guide
ended
is
up
one of
being in my top 50 something games, and it's really good.
Beginner's Guide is one of those games that's like best experienced blind for sure.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
played
bit.
it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Not-
Actually,
not-
Jordan,
not
you would,
liter-
you
sorry,
could probably play
not
it and have a good
like-
time.
Like, okay, fine, boom, boom. Okay, now play it.
No, not like literally blind. I mean like, playing it without knowing anything. about it.
I know.
Yeah,
I was.
yeah.
With you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The beginner's guide is kind of like the Stanley Parable.
I'm pretty
if
sure
it was
same
what?
creators.
Yeah, it's it's a lot of the same people working on it. What I was gonna say was the beginner's guide is like the Stanley Parable. If it was like emotionally taxing.
Dude, the Stanley Parable is very emotionally taxing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I would argue that the beginner's guide is like that to the 10th degree.
Beginner's guide
does hit you right in the fucking brainstem.
The beginner's guide went in directions I wasn't expecting, partially because I haven't played a ton of walking simulators, so they're very refreshing. But you get there's a very intimate experience with a walking simulator, I feel.
Yeah, that's why they're one of my favorite genres.
They're cool. I like them. I'm gonna play more. Yeah. I think one of them is on my backlog. By your recommendation.
Oh, which one?
Edith Finch.
I don't think so, because I started playing Edith Finch and I was never able to get through it, but that was more due to the fact that at the time my computer couldn't handle it.
Okay, someone told me to play Edith Finch. Maybe it was me.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I have it. I have it actually. I could probably play it at some point.
We can move on to the next.
Yeah, you can move on.
You can move on.
Okay. Is it okay?
Your weird forgetful uncle is done talking.
I'd like to nominate someone else to go.
Do you have anyone in particular? I could go.
Oh no, I meant I wanted to choose who went next, but that's okay. You can go, Christian.
Okay.
I mean, Christian, you were going to.
So this was the year, out of all the things that happened this year, this was the year where I think I acted probably the most out of any year.
Mame.
Oh God. Oh.
That was the year we did Mame, Christian.
It was the year we did Mame. It was the year we did 12 Angry Men.
It was the year of 12 Angry Men. You're so right.
It was the year that means technically it was the year that Clanky showed me my favorite movie of all time.
I was just when you say that, I was like, is that how recent it you had seen the movie? I kind of just always assumed 12 Angry Men was this super since I was 5. Part of your life.
What fucking 5-year-old would watch 12 Angry Men?
I mean, listen, I understand as I say it out loud that there's a lot of things wrong with it, but you can't say for sure he wouldn't have seen it when he was 5.
I was busy being scarred for life by fucking Land Before Time, okay? So I didn't...
Listen, I accidentally saw Bad Santa when I was 5.
Yeah. I mean, we all accidentally see movies. I accidentally saw The Matrix, and I saw the centipede going in the fucking belly button scene, and it scarred me for life. 2015 is a year where I really came out of my shell, and I ended up doing a lot of really interesting things, and the acting bit is really the only one that I have the most to say about, because it was also the year that I started going to this one convention called Liberty City Anime Con,
yes,
which I ended up going to 5 times, and then COVID hit. But I ended up going to it 5 times, and we'll talk more about Liberty Cities as they come along. But the first one was all right. I slept on the floor. I ate a bag of potato chips.
I'm sorry, on the floor of the convention?
On the floor of the hotel.
Okay, you didn't mention the hotel.
No.
Yeah. And then I dressed up as Meta Knight, and it was a fun time. It was a blast. I got to meet Flip Guy. It was great. In terms of games, honorable mentions, I actually have a few that aren't listed on my Discord compromises. But I'm gonna go over the first one, the only one that is still in my compromises. One Night at Flumpty's 2 is one of the best horror games ever made. It's a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game that is better than Five Nights at Freddy's in almost every way. And I like Five Nights at Freddy's already. I actually like the first 3 games. So this fan game is already superior in so many different aspects. It's made by the guy who made the old Riddle School Flash games, if you played those.
Oh my God, yes I did. Wow.
Yep.
Wait, with the smiley kid?
I'm not
his name was Smiley.
Well, he was also a kid.
It's true.
But it was
Was he inappropriately loud?
5-part series, right? And then he tried to start a second series and he never finished it?
Yeah. And that's kind of what happened with One Night at Flumpty's.
Oh, dude, yeah. I marathoned those in one day in my computer lab during school because I was so addicted to escape room games. And yeah, holy shit, I did not think that was going to get mentioned today.
Mm-hmm. He made
One Night at Flumpties 2.
He made One Night at Flumpties 2, and he's one of my favorite solo game devs, honestly, because his commentaries on One Night at Flumpties and One Night at Flumpties 2 are some of the most insightful, like, interesting things. You learn about how I'm not going to use the color green when making this game, or you have characters like fucking Grunkfist the Clown and fucking Birthday Boy Bash. And Flumpty at the beginning of the first game, literally his speech is, I'm an egg. I can also bend the space-time continuum and find you no matter where you are. And it's like, there's clearly not an air of seriousness in any of this. And I really love it. There's a beaver that uses the toilet. There's an owl that's an owl. It's great.
There's an owl that's an owl, huh?
Yeah, that's incredible, right?
I wasn't going to play the game, but now, I have no choice.
Owl. There are 2 other games that came out this year that I want to mention that I didn't put on my Discord. One is Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, that was 2015?
Yes. Tabletop Simulator is a whole bucket of fun. It has given me many hours of just sort of messing around. It's not perfect, and for a lot of games it really doesn't work as well as I'd like it to, but I'm excited for the next time any of us get to all play again in Tabletop Simulator, because that would be a fun time. And then lastly is Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. And this is a game that hopefully I'll get the chance to play again at some point soon. But it is a 4-player game where you're all inside of, like, it's a 2D 4-player game where you're all inside of a spaceship, and you all have to man and operate different parts of the spaceship. Like, so one person mans the shield, one person controls the ship, one person mans the one person controls the turrets. You know, it's a very interesting multiplayer game.
Hang on, I just want to... Taylor, are you okay? Because you sound like you were in pain more than you were sneezing.
Like he was yelling from inside of a Furlac.
I always sneeze in 3s. It just sounds like I'm dying.
And that's all that I have to say about Compromise.
I actually, I've seen some footage of Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. I've also played the VR chat version. And this may be like, oh, it's Taylor, the guy who dislikes space games, just talking, but it never grabbed me, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't grab everyone, but for when it does grab you, oh, oof.
Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time is a very fun game. I had a great time with it, and my only regret is that I didn't play more of it.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's cool. What's the creator of Flumpty's name?
Jonochrome. And then after that, Clanky can go.
I would love for Clanky to go.
Sure. So 2015 was the year me and Jeannie started dating.
Hey.
So it's a special year to me. Like very similar to Christian. It's also the year that I kind of got out of my shell a lot because you know, like the whole acting thing. I'm pretty sure every show that Christian was in that year was also the I was also there. But yeah, sorry, I don't know why I phrased it like that. I don't know why it came out so awkwardly.
But it was true. It's true.
What do you think about this, Clanky? Yeah, it's me. I'm Clanky. I'm here in the corner.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. It was the year me. I think this was also one of those years where we really tried to take Gamers of Dawn very seriously.
Huh?
So that's what you said last year.
Yeah, I like it lasted like a year and a half maybe, but like
I'm starting to think Gamers of Dawn didn't end well.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not that it died with a whimper, not a bang.
Yeah, it never really ended. It could theoretically start uploading tomorrow. Like,
yeah. So yeah. But other than that,
honestly, if you could unlist that Mario Party playthrough, I would love you.
I've unlisted every video on that channel except for 2 of them.
Is one of the Mario video?
What?
Is one of the Mario video?
No, one's Mario Sunshine like 6.5 or whatever.
Sorry, did I say unlist them?
Yeah.
What I meant is unprivate them, because I kind of want to watch it again.
Never.
Okay, good.
Never.
Just send him a link, right?
No, he's not seeing.
So.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Besides that,
I tried
gaming. This was the year that I was.
You're the wind beneath my wings, Taylor.
Go ahead, Clanky.
So for gaming, this was primarily the year where I was playing my fucking Wii U and this was back when I was deluded enough to think that the Wii U was a good console.
Oh,
I personally hate the Wii U now. I think but if we're not counting the Virtual Boy, I think it's Nintendo's second worst console.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not fair. Of course it is, but like,
yeah, but I mean,
but so what? Like,
but it is like, I'm not saying that it doesn't have good games, and I'm not saying that like the Switch, like, you know, replaced the Wii U, because there are some games on the Wii U that really can only work well on the Wii U, in my opinion. But I just feel like that, you know, 2015 was like. 2015 and 2016 were both kind of bad years for the Wii U. Besides, like, the couple, like, big games that came out, Splatoon and Mario Maker, like, there really wasn't much else on the console. Was this the year that Mario Tennis Ultra Smash and
yes, this was 2015. This was the dark age of Nintendo.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So, like, they had like some good games, don't get me wrong, but they also had some like pretty inexcusable disasters, in my opinion.
They also made Amiibo Festival. I got
exactly. It also had Amiibo Festival. This was also the year of Chibi Robo Zip.
That's not a Wii U game.
It's not a Wii U game, but it's still, like, of that era, you know what I mean? Like, of Nintendo releasing subpar games because the only thing they need is profits because the Wii U did so awfully. So, like, it left a bad taste in my mouth, but I was still, like, stoutly defending it because it was the only console that I had at the time. But
I want to make sure we as a society make sure when we're not trying to diss bad Nintendo games, we don't just call them Wii U games to fucking...
Yeah, no, that's on me, and I do apologize. But like, it is.
We were kind of in general just talking about bad Nintendo games, so obviously it follows.
No, I know, but just like the idea that like in 2025 we fucking have like a terrible game. Like, man, that shit should have been on the Wii U.
Oh my god.
Like, well,
so,
I will say that. Give me 3 years, I'll say it. You'll hate me, but I'll say it.
I mean,
sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I really want to hear you talk about your honorable mention.
Okay, all right. I'll be quick. As far as honorable mentions are concerned, we're going to be talking about Keep Talking and Splatoon, so I'm not going to mention them. City Skylines is on the list now, woohoo. Until Dawn. I played Until Dawn for the first time, I think, in 2019. Me and two of my buddies played Until Dawn. So
you played it cooperatively?
Yeah, we did the co-op version, and we stayed. I'm pretty sure it was Halloween night. We stayed. I got there at like 9 o'clock, and then we stayed up until like I think it was 3 a.m. playing until we beat the game. We were gonna play it either until dawn broke or until like we beat it, and we beat it first. That being said, I remember really loving it, but because like a lot of the climax stuff was happening at like 1:30, 2 a.m., I honestly don't remember a lot of it, and that makes me upset, but it makes me want to replay it that much more. So it'll be a good experience to do that.
I actually
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, believe it or not, I actually have know everything that happens in this one.
Really?
Yeah,
and like a horror game.
Well, I didn't play it. I watched a playthrough of it. And yeah, there's like a lot of cheap jump scares, and it's not fun for me. But like, I don't know. There was like something about like how hard it tries to be like, and this I don't mean this in like a mean way, but also I probably mean it in a mean way. How hard it tries to be stupid with like, it's trying so hard to be like a teen horror movie where it's like do all of the horror movie stereotypes, like let's have sex while the monster is around, let's fucking that's all I have actually.
You have like the archetypes of like the preppy girl, the nerd, the jock.
Hemsworth.
I guess that's why I liked it so much, because I'm a sucker for that kind of shit, you know? If it knows what it's doing, I'm okay with it, and I feel like Until Dawn is one of those games that knew what it was doing.
It somewhat kept me engaged, right? Because like I actively did find it somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
Can I also just say like one thing about Until Dawn, because it was on my compromises, but I'll just say this one thing, I won't mention it on my compromises.
Okay.
One of the writers of the game, and also the guy who plays the guy with the flamethrower, is named Larry Fessenden, and he makes so many like different things. Almost, this is gonna be like a slight spoiler for Until Dawn, so I don't like really care.
No,
I've already know everything.
Okay,
we can put up a tag. If
she makes things almost exclusively about Wendigos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like this man has found what he's good at, and what he enjoys doing, or both. And honestly, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Wendigo is the name of an Alaskan gas station.
Oh.
I believe you.
So
can I actually say there's a thing of Germa played through it. All right, and there's this great bit where there's a scene with the psychiatrist is interviewing the guy or whatever, and he's like, what are your fears? And Germa's like, and Germa, like, as the character, is like clowns and syringes. And then later on in the game, a clown with a syringe jumps out, and he's like, "It's a syringe clown."
Well, yeah, that was by design.
No. But the thing is, at the moment where he chooses clowns and syringe, he says, "No, it's actually gonna happen. I told them what I'm afraid of." And so now there's gonna be a bit in the game where a syringe clown comes out of nowhere, and then the bit comes, and he's like, "It's a syringe clown."
It's so good.
It's the way he yells it too. It's a syringe clown.
You have to watch Germa's playthrough of Until Dawn. It's very good. All
right. Talk about the best game, Clanky.
This is going to be very quick. Honey Pop is here for the joke, for the meme.
No, it's not. It's a great game.
I never said it wasn't, but the reason it is on my honorable mentions is for the joke, for the meme. Kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's last year. But
Honey Pop is fun.
Honey Pop is a good game. It's a very interesting puzzle game that has interesting mechanics. The only problem is I feel a little icky when I play it. But if you can excuse that, I think it mends together the puzzle genre with the dating sim genre pretty well, actually.
Well, Clanky, if you're feeling a little icky, try playing it with 2 hands.
That's not
what you made it worse.
Penalty.
Sorry.
Excessive joke. 10-yard penalty. First down.
All right, we need to move on. I'm done.
Can I just say I totally definitely never played Honey Pop, but if I did, I would say that it's probably a fun Bejeweled game, and Bejeweled is fun.
Okay. Someone else go.
I can go. I already talked about one of the things that on my compromises. The other thing is on the list. Well, I'll just talk about Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight is a very good game.
It is a good game, but it's also the worst Arkham game.
Yeah.
I mean, even the worst Arkham game is still gonna be a good game.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm like,
that's why I didn't put it on here.
I'm like, I have to be that way about it just because, like, I have to look at it from all angles. But like, I had a good time when I played it.
Yeah, but really, that's really my only like big issue with it. Other than that, like, I love like all the new additions to the Predator system. I loved just the aspects of the story.
Is Arkham Knight the third or fourth one?
It's the fourth one.
Yeah. The fourth one. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Actually, I do have one big problem with that game. In order to get the ending, like in order to trigger the actual credits, you need to 100% the game.
Yeah.
Like when you beat the main story, they're like, okay, you have unfinished business. Go do everything else in the game. Yeah. And that would be fine if there weren't 700 Riddler trophies.
That's the thing.
Hang on a minute. Sorry, I just need to say something.
No, I need to say something as well.
What?
I just looked up the filmography of Larry Fesson. Literally everything on this list is about a Wendigo. And like, this is the thing. It's not like this is the thing I need to stress. It's not like he's done like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 things. Like, it's pages and pages of stuff. All of them about Wendigos.
He knows what he wants and he knows what he deserves.
Listen, everyone needs like someone with a niche. Like, where else are you gonna get the Wendigo guy?
It's a fetish, I think.
In 2001, he directed Wendigo.
Yeah.
In 2006, he directed Last Winter.
With the Wendigo.
I gotta do a marathon of these Wendigo.
He did the episode of Fear Itself entitled Skin and Bones, which is about a Wendigo.
Wendigo the Wendigo.
The problem is now everything he makes is going to be spoiled immediately if you know who he is, because it's like he can make a rom-com.
He's subverting your expectations.
Yeah.
I know for a fact there's at least one movie he's in, like as an actor, not like directed or written or anything. That is about a house that eats people. That's
no, he's acted in a lot of things. Some of them with but he's not like an actor, as you can tell by some of these by some of these roles. For example, he played
number 2.
What? No, he played man who looks through trash. Man narrator, cokehead, kissing man, tow guy, store clerk, tow truck driver, father, enemy guard. Man behind gate, henchman, cowboy, fishing host, bike messenger, roadhouse bartender. This is a great one. Wolf dog.
Wolf dog.
God.
Motel clerk, bearded tenant, upset man.
Upset man. That's me after all these fucking Wendigo movies.
He played stranger in Until Dawn.
Oh.
Yep. Yes.
Drunk man.
Drunk man.
Henry Earl Starkweather.
I said drunk man.
Right, we could go through this list all day.
Yeah, we can go through this anyway. But no, I had to look it up, and Grant, you weren't kidding. It's Wendigos all the way down, and it's so weird. I'll say this: he probably has the best understanding of what a Wendigo is compared with a lot of depictions of them.
Well, I guess now all are gonna play Until Dawn.
I guess so.
No, because I already know what happens.
Yeah, well, I already know basically everything in the game, so I don't really have much of a reason to play.
Jordan will play it then.
Yeah, we'll all watch Jordan play it.
Yeah, I want the Wendigo.
You can only do it if you play it Until Dawn.
Oh, fuck.
But,
Taylor, please. We're reaching the 3rd hour of the opening.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just remembered. Look, no, we're going about, I never say what happened that year. That was the year I went to London, and I performed Shakespeare in Shakespeare's literal backyard.
Nice.
That was cool.
That's pretty dope.
That's nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
What specifically did you do?
I did a monologue from Timon of Athens.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, y'all ready for this?
Yes.
2015 was the year I started watching anime.
Oh, shit.
I'm so sorry.
First half of the year was, not all that impressive. Second half, I spent it. I finally I only had a single roommate, so I basically lived in an actual quiet place. I finally had a chance to let my brain think, and the first thing I decided to do was watch The Devil is a Part-Timer, and that started this really weird journey. And I created a backlog, and basically every night from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Was just anime. I didn't go to bed till 4:45 a.m. I just fucking would watch a whole season of anime every night, and it was the fucking best.
Season 3 of anime.
Yeah, I watched season 3 of anime. It was weird, man. It was weird because 2015. I got some stuff to talk about, but I'm just looking at the bracket. 2015 was not my biggest game year. In all honesty, I probably focused more on the backlog. And everything that I'm going to talk about today, I think I only played 2 of these things when they actually came out. Even the most popular thing on this bracket, I didn't get to till 2016. So I'm going to go a little out of order because I know which one is going to be discussed the longest here. But Yoshi's Woolly World is a cute Yoshi's Island game. I like it. I probably like the original better, but it started, it kept the tradition that that Kirby Epic Yarn started by making hey, let's just make our art style games like this that are just cute and adorable and good, and it succeeded, I think.
Yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World is probably one of the few games that I want to go back to the Wii U for, because you can't play it anywhere else, I believe.
3DS.
Yeah, you know what? You got me, Taylor. You got me. All right. But
Ask me how I played it.
How'd you play it?
I played it on 3DS.
Oh,
Yoshi
all right.
and Poochie's Woolly World.
If I can get it on,
I
I can get it on
swear to
3DS.
another game that I played within like this last year, I believe, Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Solid game, excellent game.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. First of all, it's hard as fuck. It is not easy.
That game's kind of like a roguelike, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely a roguelike. I think the thing though is that like it's a roguelike where like what you invest into the next run is not as helpful as maybe how as helpful as other roguelike games could be.
You kind of have to be good at it.
Look, I mean, not exactly. I mean, yes, but like you could go off rhythm a couple of times and get through it mostly okay. And I think
but you have to be on rhythm some of the time, which I was not.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's the most like consistent with being on rhythm because every step you can't step forward unless you step with the rhythm. But also, there's a shopkeeper that fucking belts out the harmonies, and it's fucking delightful.
I'm a sucker for when a song is playing in a game, then you go into another like environment, and that song is still playing, but because you're in a new area or whatever, they add like another track to the music. I'm a sucker for that shit. And Crypt of the Necrodancer does that really well, especially with the shopkeeper.
Yeah, Grant Kirkhope is great at doing that.
Yeah, was that soundtrack wasn't Grant Kirkhope, was it?
No. Grant Kirkhope did not write the music for Crypt of the Necrodancer.
I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, I would have heard about that.
Yeah, right.
No, fucking. Where's the xylophone?
You crushed our Grant Kirkhopes.
No, I just meant like in general that kind of musical idea. Grant Kirkhope is good at doing.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, so that's a fun game, and then there's this other game. It's just, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this one. It's called Ori and the Blind Forest. Which, maybe I could have fought to put it on this bracket. I just, there's a chance that this game would get fucking chewed apart, thrown out, and shit on.
Sorry. Me and no one else. Because I'm the only one who hates the game. But listen, man, you're entitled to your opinion.
Listen, I will also argue that the sequel is better, and I'd much rather talk about the sequel. Also, Ori and the Blind Forest is a Metroidvania game. The only thing I don't like about it is that you have to manually create your own checkpoints, and I don't ever remember to make my own checkpoints, so I lose a bunch of progress every time I die, and that's no good, but it's really cute. There are these really fun escape sequences, and it's just all in all a good game.
I've always wanted to play Ori. I've heard that the Ori games are good, despite what some hear.
I think they are.
Fair enough.
I gotta say before we start, I'm excited for this bracket. I had a rough
2015. Well, I'm glad you asked.
I had a rough Yearlies last year, and I'm ready to cruise this year. So let's see what we can do.
Completely ignores Jordan.
I was gonna say, I'm like, we're not even gonna let him say anything.
No, I thought Jordan was done.
No one
I'm
cares.
sorry.
Yeah, what do you mean he was done? He didn't start.
I was waiting for you to go, Jordan, go ahead. But no, you kept going.
No, I wasn't trying to start the Yearlies. I was just stating my opinion.
And I was stating my opinion. Stop that.
I feel like I deserve a medal for not saying anything.
I think we all do.
You're good, Christian. Jordan's not mad.
No, I'm not mad. I'm goofing. 2015 was a genuinely terrible year for me.
Because I wasn't there.
Exactly. If you were there, so much would have been averted. Like, genuinely.
I just say, I love how we still on Christian. Like, I can't believe we didn't let Jordan go. My year sucked.
Can I be honest? I had actually, I'm realizing it now. I had forgotten that Jordan hadn't gone.
Yeah, it makes such an impact.
No, not like that, Jordan. That's why I stepped in.
I know.
I'm sorry.
No, there's a lot of random stuff.
I get distracted easily.
Relationship shit, but like, the best thing that happened to me in 2015 is spend a week in Chicago. Great city. Good food. This was when I went to Giordano's Taylor, which is excellent. Did some other things. Met some other people. Eventually sort of went in the direction that would lead to a very successful 2016. But, a lot of waiting around until then. So, yeah.
fought a couple
not as
Wendigos.
exciting as you guys, but you know.
Okay.
Sorry.
I will say, if I did fight a couple Wendigos, that would have made this a great year.
I think it's interesting, Christian, that you say last year was the flop and this year was the good one, because I think like I'm gonna have fun no matter what, but this is the one that like I have the least amount of stuff I care about.
Yeah, I had a rough time with it last year, but this year.
Oh, good, because I'm fighting tooth and nail this year.
Don't worry.
And if something doesn't win, I will literally kill one of you.
Fighting tooth and nail.
I'm not gonna say who it will be. It'll be chosen randomly.
Okay.
I'm just going to remind Mick that he's already played his no, hang on, this can't be the outcome of the vote card.
Oh, no, don't worry. I know for a fact it's not going to die in losers.
I will say, I won't spoil what stuff is yours yet, but you're going to have to fight really hard.
It's not even one of my things.
All right, if everyone's good, then let's get this shindig started.
I think we should probably go into the first bracket. This is the thrilling battle between Taylor and Taylor, which is two of his picks, which although I think one of these a lot of people probably could have put up. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain versus King's Quest. You have 8 minutes. Last time we developed, less Foodlies, we developed a strategy of like going in with like who's going to start. I think Taylor is probably going to start because both of these are his. We have 8 minutes. I am doing the timers tonight. So we have 8 minutes, and I will direct you guys as necessary when we get to certain time points. But the 8 minutes starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, I will go first, if that's cool.
Yes.
And Jordan, congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
I just want to say beforehand to anybody who's listening, there may be some contention as to whether or not King's Quest is a 2015 game or a 2016 game. We here at the Yearlies have discussed when episodic games come out, do we count, like when do we count them? And I think we mostly agreed that they would count when all the episodes are out. And King's Quest episodes were still going through 2016. However, the reason I'm putting it here in 2015 is I'm going to talk about the game as a whole. But the part of King's Quest that impacted me most was its very first episode, which I think, they have other good episodes too, but I think the game kind of peaked with that very first episode, but that's okay because it's all it needs. So I guess I'll talk about King's Quest first since I'm already down that road. We have not really had an opportunity in these Yearlies to really talk about point-and-click adventure games like as traditionally as they get. And point-and-click adventure games are so fun because they have great, interesting settings with such good observational humor. Because the idea behind point-and-click adventure games is you need to have something unique to say about everything. But King's Quest is King's Quest is almost unique in that sense, where like there's dialogue to commentate on, but it works in such a different way. Because it's like the whole game is a flashback where it's Christopher Lloyd as an old King Graham telling his story as I believe Josh Keaton as a young King Graham. I believe that's who it is.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
And it's telling it's telling snippets from his life as he goes from young peasant boy to old man King Graham. And the first episode where he's meeting the fellow knights. And he's competing in challenges to earn a spot in King Edmund's court, I think is just among the best in terms of not only its puzzles, but also its level of, it does something very unique to the point-and-click adventure game genre, which is give you options. You can tackle some puzzles with multiple different perspectives because there's a general theme throughout the King's Quest games where you can be 3 different types of king. You can be kind, you can be courageous, or you can be smart. And depending on which avenue you want to take, that can change the order in which you do things. I feel like it's most prominent in the very first chapter where here's your horse is stuck in the tree. How do you get the tree down? Do you get a work order for the crumbler, a tree destroying machine, or do you befriend the big heavyweight guy Acorn and have him take care of the tree? It's really cool. And there's this fucking knight named Whisper who reminds you to never skip leg day. fucking Wallace Shawn is.
His name is Whisper, and he shouts everything he says.
He's the best. Whisper is so great. And that's the thing. There's so many likable characters. The puzzles are super good. There's this fucking dude named Achaka who teaches you 2 words of his foreign language, and you fucking learn to care for him as like he was your dad. Fucking like you. The
Hang
words.
on, I interrupted you. You were gonna mention Wallace Shawn.
Yes, and just to tell you, Taylor, you're nearing around the 4-minute mark.
Okay,
so.
I'm sorry. I will.
Well, I do want to hear about Wallace Shawn, but yes.
Yeah, he plays your friend Manny. And he just delivers his lines super well. It's just
so inconsiderate.
Really? Does he do that?
Yeah, he does it. That's an actual quote.
It's just a super great point-and-click puzzle game, and when I played it, I sat down, I played it through 5-6 hours, and I just had this fucking amazing, delightful time that is very difficult to find in point-and-click games. I want to talk about Metal Gear Solid 5, but does anyone else want to say things about King's Quest?
King's Quest looks very interesting, and you've convinced me that I want to play it.
Oh, awesome. It's a lot of fun. I have not played all of it. I've only played the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, the episodes were released very delayed.
Yeah,
got it. I literally added it to my wishlist on Steam because it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to watch you play it.
Hell yeah.
I will say, I do want to say, I actually almost have no memory of the second episode.
Yeah, the second episode is not one of my favorites. That's the thing. You go from the best episode to like one of the worst because they do a point-and-click game with a time limit, which is just. I mean, it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. I was able to do it, I think, without a guide, but it's rough.
Yeah, why put a time limit on adventure? Also, by the way, you have 3 minutes left.
I'm sorry. You might need to go over. I don't know. But in the same vein as King Quest giving you multiple options to a solution, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, people often cite as the best stealth game for that very reason too. It's like when I was playing Metal Gear Solid 5, I spent a lot of time kind of rushing through it because there was something that I wanted to make sure I wanted to make sure I could finish it before a certain date because I just had my schedule planned in such a weird way that I don't feel like I spent the time to actually appreciate the amount of gameplay depth Metal Gear Solid 5 has. You have so many fucking different weapons that you will never need, but there's like 700 of them. You can fucking raid people's They programmed something into Metal Gear Solid 5 where everyone has a base camp and everyone has nuclear warheads, and you can invade other people's bases and steal their nuclear warheads. And they designed a cutscene into the game where if they ever made it so every player, if there were no nukes left in the game, then a cutscene would play and a third part to the game would come out. It never happened, but there's a video on it that just came out, and it's fascinating. You can fucking just knock people unconscious, send them in a hot air balloon, and fucking send them up to your airbase in the sky and force them to work for you, and it's awesome. It's a game that like constantly upgrades you and makes you and you feel stronger as you go on. The story is in a weird place in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, but it's still really fun, and there's a great theme of there's a great theme about language in it that I find very interesting. That I think would be interesting to watch other people play out. I apologize if other people wanted to talk and I've just been talking this whole time. I kind of assumed nobody had played either of these.
I played like 20% of Phantom Pain.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you like it?
I enjoyed it. Maybe I'll go back and finish it at some point.
Yeah, it's a very long game too. Yeah. I really would like Mick to play it. I really would like to hear Mick's opinions on it. As I know he is a Hitman fan, and I don't know if it's like Hitman, but it feels like it might be. Maybe.
What?
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh no, it's nothing like Hitman.
Okay, well, I don't know.
But no. It does look like it. It still does look like I would enjoy it.
You also can bring a dog with you on every mission. And he rides in the car with you and fucking bites people's arms so you can shoot them in the face.
And I don't want to. I mean, I've never played any of these games either, but I will say one mark in favor of Phantom Pain is this song, "Nuclear," which is the theme for it, by Mike Oldfield featuring Luke Spiller from the Struts, which my roommate in college.
Wait a minute. I had no idea that Mike Oldfield did music for this game.
Well, I mean, he doesn't exactly sing on the record, but because he gets guest vocalists. But it's funny because my roommate at the time that this came out, he was really excited for this and would play this song over and over. And it was surprising to me that it was Mike Oldfield. And eventually, like the lead singer on this, Luke Spiller, I got into his band, The Struts, and I'm like, okay, that's one of my favorites. So this song is incredible, and it should be. It's my bias in this. We're at the end of the gate. Are any other last thoughts about these games from anybody that didn't get to talk?
This episode has been brought to you by Mike Oldfield's Tubular Balls.
Mike Oldfield is incredible, by the way.
Yes, Clanky.
I won't keep it long. Is Phantom Pain the one with Senator Armstrong or whatever?
No,
that's Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Understood. Thank you.
Much shorter game.
Right.
But also a good game.
Yeah. We're gonna go to the vote. I'm tempted to say, unless anybody else has any last things.
Christian, I assume your silence is because you didn't play either.
I know what I'm voting for.
Okay.
So the way we're gonna work this, this is convenient. So the first order we are going to do is going to be Graham, Taylor, Christian, Mick, Clanky. Is that clear to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So Graham, you are up first.
King's Quest literally is about King Graham, so I have to give it my vote.
I was gonna say.
The name drop.
That saying, I have played a fair bit of episode 1. I watched a full playthrough of episode 1, and even if I really only base it off episode 1, I have to give it to King's Quest.
Okay, 1 vote for King's Quest. Taylor.
You know, I'm also going to give it to King's Quest, and I think it's probably more of a genre thing. I really secretly love the point-and-click genre. I also just, I have to, figure out, I didn't have a ton to put on this bracket. I'm pretty sure I like Metal Gear Solid 5. I have to figure out how much. I have to figure out my own relationship with it. And by the way, if everyone thought I talked way too much this round, I have nothing to say for, a ton of these.
And that's okay. Everything is balanced. All things should be. That's 2 votes for King's Quest. Christian.
I'm going to drop it on what is potentially an unpopular opinion. Point-and-click adventure games and point-and-click games are my least favorite genre of video game.
Bias.
And
we're going to go as far as to say least favorite, huh?
Least favorite genre of video game. Even lesser than puzzle games. I'm not a huge puzzle game guy. And as soon as I heard that King's Quest was a point-and-click adventure game, I already voted for Metal Gear Solid 5.
I should say it's kind of a little more similar to The Walking Dead if it actually had puzzles.
It's really not. It really is not in that vein. I don't think.
I mean, you don't point and click. If that was his thing, but
That's not the act of pointing and clicking.
Okay,
that is
he means the traditional
problem.
puzzle adventure.
Yes.
Okay, then no, he's not gonna like it.
Yeah, I know I'm not going to like King's Quest. My vote goes for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay, that's 2-1 King's Quest. Mick.
So here's the thing. I could go either way on this because I have played King's Quest and I enjoyed King's Quest. I haven't finished the series. I only played the first 3 episodes because listen, once I get out of the the rhythm of doing something, I stop being in the rhythm of doing the thing. Mm-hmm. But I know that I'm pretty sure that if I played the Phantom Pain, I'd really enjoy it. I'm not really sure where to go on this. Clanky, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'll make it nice and easy for you, Mick. You ready?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be voting. Let me say this. When I play a Metal Gear Solid game, I'll probably actually care, but right now I don't. So it's going to King's Quest.
And you won't start with that one, trust me.
Yeah. Oh, is that a bad game to start with?
No, I mean you can, but narratively,
I'm not gonna know what the fuck is going on, and I would definitely want to play Metal Gear Solid 1, then 2, then 3. That's how I would play it if I got into Metal Gear.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, I said that out loud. I'm actually, Phantom Pain is somewhat independent of itself, but even Phantom Pain is expecting is a direct continuation of Ground Zeroes, which is a direct continuation of Peace Walker. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna vote for Metal Gear Solid 5 because I mean what I vote for doesn't exactly matter, and I feel like I might enjoy Phantom Pain more than I enjoyed King's Quest.
Okay, but
I would definitely want to watch you play Metal Gear Solid 5.
Not the way I thought that vote was gonna go.
This could have gone either way. you know, it's fine with me either way.
I could have gone either way, so I'm happy Clanky voted the way he did.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'm glad Clanky sounds excited about it.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this next round.
We move on to this next round, which, if the first round was a Taylor against himself round, this round is a Christian against himself round. This is Rocket League versus Bloodborne. And like the first round, I think I know the way it's going, but you guys have a way of throwing.
Can I talk first?
Well, seeing as it's yours, I am assuming you're going to. So, yes. If you're ready, I'm going to start the timer. 3, 2, 1, go, Christian.
So first, I'd like to state for the record, even though Bloodborne was my pick, it is probably just as much one of Mick's picks,
if not more. The only reason it's on yours and not mine is because, look, people didn't want to fucking argue about what was it called again? The fucking
One Night at Flumpty's.
Exactly, yeah.
Flumpty.
So,
I am glad he made the choice not to put that up.
But I want to spend a little bit of time talking about Rocket League.
Oh,
yes.
So, Rocket League is pretty fun. Vote for Bloodborne. No, I'll actually talk about Rocket League. Rocket League is an actually like legitimately fun like car soccer game, which is like two things that I'm not exactly super into, but it's one of those kinds of games where when you actually get something right in Rocket League, you feel like a god. You are the strongest human on the planet. You just want to get up and like throw things because you're so hyped after getting a score.
Get up and throw things.
Christian, can I ask you a question really quick?
Yes. Are you gonna ask?
So last time we talked about this game, you said, and I quote, "I hate Rocket League because I'm not good at it."
And that was my original.
Changed?
What changed was playing Rocket League again on a computer that was actually half decent.
What? So valid.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then I realized, wait a second, this game is just genuinely good and I don't hate it. If I put more time into it, I would be less bad. I still suck at the game. I only put like 10 hours or something into it. So I'm still fucking awful at it. But Rocket League is legitimately like incredibly fun, incredibly well-made game that probably doesn't deserve to die in loser's bracket like it will. But
I mean, hey, we don't know where it's gonna end up in this round, so I mean,
so we don't really know. I think Rocket League is a one of the most well-made multiplayer exclusive games ever made, and genuinely has a lot of really fun game mechanics that makes you feel amazing for getting goals right. Now, Bloodborne, I would be a fucking lunatic if I was like, I'm gonna vote for Rocket League over Bloodborne. Like,
Bloodborne's Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne is literally one of the best games ever made. It's my 15th favorite game of all time. And
by the way, I have to say, since I had last made my top 50 list, after replaying it through it myself and fully 100%ing it and watching Christian play through it, I think it might be my favorite game, period.
Number one?
Yeah.
Alright.
Like, it went from number 3 to number 1.
Yeah.
So that's 2
number
votes.
5, to be honest.
But you know what? I think, honestly, the best person to talk to you about Bloodborne at this possible moment right now is Mick. So I'll save my thoughts for a later round, and I'll give Mick the microphone.
Mick,
so,
go ahead.
Give Mick the microphone.
Bloodborne is the reason I bought a PS4. I only had a minor interaction and experience with the Souls franchise prior to this. I played Dark Souls 2. I played Dark Souls 2, and I enjoyed it, but like it never didn't grab me. But Bloodborne's setting. It's a decrepit gothic city, overrun with werewolves.
You just described Camden, New Jersey.
Oh no! There's a whole meme about Bloodborne being an accurate description of what it's like to live in Britain.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But like, there's this plague where people start turning into these ravenous beasts, and so they send hunters at them. But then the hunters also turn into beasts, and in fact, they turn into worse beasts.
Second of this one.
Than the original beasts. And so they just keep sending more. And no one knows why.
There's a place
when you explain it like that, it's funny.
For some reason.
Now, the game goes absolutely nonsensical. Like, whatever you thought the game was gonna be like going in, it goes whole new directions with its setting later on.
Wow.
Like when you're in an old abandoned school building fighting slime people, like you'll be like, hang on, what? How did we get here? When you're in a forest filled with snakes, and there's absolutely no lore explanation for why this place exists. Like, I can tell you everything there is to know about Bloodborne lore. I don't understand why there's a fucking snake level.
Why not?
They're never explained.
Give you that. Rocket League does not have a snake level.
Yes.
Really unfortunate in Rocket League's case.
It's a Souls game, but it's more different than Demons in Dark Souls than it is similar in a lot of ways. What's
D&D.
What?
Sorry. You said Demons and Dark Souls. I'm like, oh, D&D.
Oh, yeah. What's going on? It has this wicked smooth, like, fast-paced gameplay. That is offset by the fact that you still have to somewhat play it like a Souls-like, where you have to be really careful and think about your decisions. But then the game has been rapidly, it's a lot. It plays a lot faster because you have like these side steps and whatnot. Instead of you have guns, the guns are useless. Not useless, but like they don't do any damage. It's weird.
Down to your last minute, by the way.
Yeah, there's so much I can talk about. I don't even know. Oh, here, how about this? The game also has its own roguelike built into it. Like, you could potentially play it forever. You can't, because that bit of the game is actually really... Yeah, the chalice tension. You can't actually play it forever, because that bit of the game is actually really dull and boring. Like, once you've played a bunch of them, it starts to just become repetitive. But, like, the base game is so good. Oh, it's one of the few games I've ever 100%ed, and it was probably the single most fulfilling experience of my video game playing life.
You tried to speedrun this one, right?
Yes, and I can do the first few levels and areas, can't do the rest. That's from a lack of practice rather than a lack of skill.
Okay.
And a lack of skill.
Keep telling yourself that.
No, it's from a lack of skill, too. It's from a lack of practice, it's also from a lack of skill.
Okay.
Anyway.
We're at the end of our 8. Anybody else have any thoughts on this game, on either of these games that they want to get in before the vote?
Any questions?
Listen, there's been a consistent theme with me and the Souls games that have been on these brackets where I have to ask you guys, listen, is this even the best Souls game on this bracket?
Yes,
and I can't pose that with Bloodborne anymore, because to be honest, if I know one Souls game is going to win at least one of these brackets, I know it's going to be Bloodborne, and I kind of just have to accept that, not because I like genuinely hate it or anything, but because I've never played a Souls game and I'm not immediately glued to playing one. I do like the idea of a faster one, but I guess for me personally, when I see a Souls game versus a Bloodborne game, which is the one, they don't seem all that different, but that may not matter, and it may just be a matter of I have to play it.
So, like, let me put it this way. It's kind of like the difference between a Mario game and a Sonic game. Oh. Like, they're still, at the end of the day, they're still both 2D platformers, but they're very different experiences.
Well, yeah, I feel like those are way more different than each other, though, inherently, than maybe Bloodborne and Dark Souls are.
There's more obvious differences, but when you actually get into the actual gameplay, like it actually plays really different. Like Dark Souls combat, in a lot of ways it's kind of an attrition game, because you can block and absorb damage and stuff. That's not an option in Bloodborne. You have to dodge.
Do we want to get to the vote?
Yeah.
Okay, Graham, you're up first.
Bloodborne.
I figured that would happen. Taylor.
I already know Bloodborne's gonna win, so I'm gonna vote for Rocket League.
A wise move. Christian?
Bloodborne has one of the best DLCs ever made for any game ever. I'm voting for Bloodborne.
That's 2-1.
The DLC also introduces the hardest unique boss in the Souls franchise. and also the second hardest boss in Bloodborne. But to be fair, the hardest boss in Bloodborne is another boss, but you only have a thin little smidgen of your health bar.
Just a smidgen.
That sounds terrible. And
it's terrible.
Mick, you're up next, and I think I know.
It's an optional boss, and you have to go through challenge dungeons to get it. Anyway, yeah, I'm voting for Bloodborne, if that wasn't obvious.
Figured. And Clanky for posterity.
I've played Rocket League, and I like it. But I know if I play Bloodborne, I'll like it more. So I'm voting for Bloodborne.
Okay.
Clanky, out of curiosity, how many hours do you have in Rocket League?
In Rocket League? Oh, boy. Not a lot.
Okay, I don't know. I thought that you had, like, played it professionally for some reason for a little bit.
Not even a little bit. I have 5.9 hours in Rocket League.
That's the same amount of hours I have. Yeah.
I have 0. I just want to say one more time, I think Rocket League has a super original idea.
Yeah. Rocket League's cool. It's just a shame it went up against Bloodborne in its first round.
Incidentally, you should all... This is me getting an excuse to talk about this, Christian. Christian, we gotta play Steel Rising when it comes out.
Yes, I already have it on my list. So.
Oh, cool. Because it's just Bloodborne with robots.
Which is
that's
amazing, and I'm so excited.
It was made for you.
It was literally a game made for me.
All we need
Finally, a game for me.
Moving on to our next bracket. This is a Graham versus Clanky matchup, and oh my gosh, this is a tale of two very different games. We have Undertale versus Super Mario Maker.
Would it be okay if I started this one?
Yes, I think it would be very okay if you started this one. If you're all ready, I'm going to start the clock in 3, 2, 1. Clanky.
Super Mario Maker was a game that I was dreaming of playing ever since I was a kid, and I think anyone who grew up playing platformers in general, specifically Mario ones, can probably agree to that, at least to some extent. Like, I love the idea that they finally made a game where you make your own Mario levels. Like, if I had this game when I was 7, dude, WarioWare DIY who? I would have loved the shit out of that game. But and like, it's one, we were talking about this before, but it's one of the best games for just the Wii U gamepad. Like, the gamepad, like, you think the gamepad is useless, but then you play Super Mario, like, games like Super Mario Maker, and you're like, wow, okay, this actually has a functional purpose. I wish they used it more. So Super Mario Maker does a lot of things right, and honestly might be one of the best, like, Mario platformer games that exists, solely because of the amount of creativity you can put into it yourself, while also being able to just take, I mean, you used to, I don't know if you can anymore, but being able to take levels from other people from online who are probably more creative than you.
Yeah, you can't anymore.
Yeah, alright, well that's unfortunate, but at one point you could, and that made Super Mario Maker very special.
Well,
Undertale's the better game.
You can play them online, you can't upload anymore.
Fair enough. Undertale's the better game either way. I love Super Mario Maker. I love it a lot, don't get me wrong. But Undertale is just probably one of the best games, period. I know I might sound like a little bit of a nerd here, but okay. I really, really like Undertale. I think that, despite the fact that it might not have the best reputation nowadays, I think that does not take away from the game itself at all. I'm talking about, like, the people who were like, oh, I refuse to play Undertale because the fan base is cringe. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm one of those people. I'm just saying that I know that there's a big majority of people who won't play Undertale because it's a quote-unquote meme game. Again, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that I know that stigma exists and it's prevalent. Like, I'm not saying it's, like, you know, the forefront of Undertale, but it's definitely there. Either way, Undertale's so good. I'm done.
Undertale changed my life. For a while at my school, me and possibly Clanky and maybe others were known as the people who talked about Undertale.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a reason why. And I'll keep my description of Undertale short. Undertale is magic compressed into video game form, and it is one of the smartest, one of the most genuinely heartwarming games I have ever played. It has one of my favorite moments from any game ever, that made me cry a lot, and it is my number 6 favorite game of all time. So, like, literally anything going up against Undertale is just unfair. It's kind of unfair.
Which he was just saying about Bloodborne.
Well,
wait till we get to that round. I don't want to think about that round yet.
I just want to say Undertale is probably one of the best critiques and commentaries on how just you play games in general.
Yes.
And also just how every single thing, there is no like separation of gameplay and story on Undertale. Anything that is like in the game is a part of the story. Like the developer went out of their way to make sure that like any single thing that might be like something that might be out of a video game has a justification in the story, including saves, including the menu, and even my favorite part, including the concept of glitches.
Can
that's
I
all
say
I have to
something?
say on Undertale. Yeah.
I'm gonna be one person, okay? Now, one thing I will say, importantly, I played Undertale before everyone hated it for being a meme game. I didn't like Undertale for totally non-meme and genuine reasons. I legitimately didn't like Undertale. Now, a big part of that was it's like the combination of my 2 least favorite genres, bullet hell shooters and menu-based RPGs. The game was fucked from the beginning for me. And then I found out that in order to get the full experience, you had to play it more than once, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
I mean,
Listen, the game... Okay, here's the best bit, right? Okay? And here's the thing. If I wasn't playing it with Kyle, when the game crashed, I would have been like... When the game, crashed, quote-unquote.
Yeah.
If Kyle hadn't said, no, Mick, boot it back up, I would have been like, well, I mean, I beat the game. Oh, well. And then I would have just left and never played it again.
I don't know why you would have assumed you beat the game, but okay.
Yeah.
Because the game was over. I beat the final boss, supposedly, and then the game crashed, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm basically done, and I don't really care, so I guess that's it. And Kyle's like, no, you have to boot it up again. I'm like, oh, okay. I know Undertale is going to beat Mario Maker. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm voting for Mario Maker, and fuck all of you.
Wow.
Man, there seems to be a theme every year we do these.
Can I say one thing about Undertale, kind of piggybacking off of
You can say as many things as you want about Undertale.
Would it be okay if I say things about Undertale first, since I haven't gone yet?
Gosh.
Because there is just one thing that we kind of aren't talking about that I think is really important to the Undertale experience. And that's the music. And
Kick-ass.
I need to take a moment to say, when I first heard Toby Fox compose the music for this game, like when I first heard the song Heartache during that boss fight, and at first I was like, okay, so this is the boss fight music. This is going to be the boss fight for every song, for every boss. And then I found that he composed an original track, not only for like every character. This is one of those games that has a theme song for every character and a separate boss theme for every character. And all of them are so fucking addictive to listen to. I just like, my heart melted. Like, this was like, other than Ace Attorney, I never really like was so impacted by a soundtrack in the same way I am with Undertale. To the point that like I had all these earworms in my head where I'm fucking like, there was a time in my life when like I could not fucking for the life of me stop listening to Death by Glamour. And I remember I was like fucking in Penn Station taking a ride to Rhode Island, and I played Death by Glamour like 17 times, and you always get to that part where the music rises, and I had to like fucking like play that for people who had never heard of what the fuck Undertale was. I'm like, no, just wait, I want to express to you how important this part of the song is. And they're like, yeah, that part's pretty cool. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I can convince people of Undertale's worth through its music alone, and that's awesome. Also, when I beat the game, I clapped. I, like, applauded. And, like, I don't do that for every game. Undertale's really good. I never played Super Mario Maker, and I'm really amazed that I haven't.
Yeah, I just want to say two things really quick. One, piggybacking off of something that Graham said about how it kind of plays with the concept of games. One thing I love about Undertale is if you try to sell stuff to a shop, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you trying to sell me something? This is my shop. And that concept is just hysterical to me. I love that they do that.
You can do it if you look hard enough, but
yeah, that is true. But like like the generic shops that you see and everything. But the other thing, Undertale, like we're like old men at this point, right? Like we're all like in our mid to late 20s, right?
Don't say it, man.
So like. We're all like senior citizens at this point. Take it from someone who like works in a school with like kids, like 6th graders and stuff. The kids ask to go to my piano every single day, and they always, without fail, start playing bum 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 bum. And like I think it's Death by Glamour, right?
Yeah, that's Death by Glamour.
Yeah, so they play Death by Glamour, and they also play what is that song? The Toriel song.
Heartache.
Yeah, anyway, either way, so, the music is still that impactful to kids today. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, and also, that's all without saying, ba-da-ba-ba.
It's true.
We made it the whole time without talking about Sans.
I mean...
Yeah, we didn't even make a Pope joke.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's also just credit to say that Undertale has a great cast of characters, too.
Yes.
I don't like Alphys that much, which I know is probably not a nice thing to say. I guess...
I feel like that's not a hot take, though, because I feel like out of the main 6, people like Alphys the least.
I mean, I liked Alphys the least.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, I like her least, but I still liked her.
Does anyone remember how Super Mario Maker got announced?
Another direct.
It was announced after a leak, I think.
It was very specifically their E3, where they got the creators of Robot Chicken to make their conference.
Right. Yeah.
And they fucking like the first thing they do is like Seth Green, like I assume it's Seth Green, is like, okay, Nintendo, just tell us what new Mario game you're making. Jeez, you're so unoriginal. And like, actually, we're not going to announce a new Mario game. And then they fucking like have Reggie and Mario like crime fighting, and Mario's like, maybe you'll reconsider Mario Ballet, and that just transitions into, hey, we're making Mario Maker.
That entire direct was surreal.
It was a really weird. It was a good one though. I like that one.
Reggie, give us Mother 3.
Mother 3.
Yeah. But I remember at the time, Super Mario Maker was just going to be the original Mario Bros. And new Super Mario Bros. And at the time, I was not as interested in it because I'm like, what about Mario 3 and World? And I think
and then the developers literally heard you, Taylor, and were like, oh yeah, shit, we'll add that right now.
Thanks, guys. I still won't play it, but I actually own it, and I've not touched it. It's really weird. I for all intents and purposes, should love the shit out of that game. But it's like, I guess it's like the idea of an infinite game. I have a tough time with infinite games. And I just never took the time to play it, and it's weird. And now Mario Maker 2 is, and they had the one thing missing from the original Mario Maker, which is a world creator. And I just missed my chance. I hope to have a time where I can sit down and just play good Mario Maker levels, but I have not done that yet.
Right. Okay. Are we good to vote, or any other last things we want to get in?
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Undertale is one of the best games ever made.
Okay. You just said that about a Bloodborne, but okay.
But it's true for both of them.
You going to say that about some of the next round as well?
No.
I don't think Christian has any more stock in the rest of these.
Oh dear.
Maybe like one more round. A few more rounds, actually.
Okay. Getting to the vote, Graham, you're up first.
One part of the game you learn that Toriel's husband Asgore is terrible coming up with names, and you find out later that their son's name is Asriel, and it's one of my favorite little background jokes in any game.
It's great.
Voting for Undertale.
Yeah, I figured. Taylor.
Ghost Fight is also a good song. I want to do like a barbershop quartet where we all come out with canes and top hats and just tap dance to that tune. Undertale.
Yeah. This is not going to be close. Christian.
I'm calling it now. Undertale's going to win the bracket.
Ooh. Well, some people are going to have reactions if that happens.
Did anyone else hear that beat?
Yeah.
So I voted for Undertale.
I figured.
No, I wasn't making a joke. Did anyone hear the B?
I did, yeah. I thought either it was B or it was just Mick crying out in anger.
That was me.
Yeah. Mick, it is your vote.
Super Mario Maker.
Okay. Clanky?
Clanky, you there, bud?
Yes, I am. Sorry.
Okay.
It is your
Hey,
vote.
hey. Yeah, it's your vote.
Oh, that's why.
The
That's
dedication.
why it was worth it.
The dedication.
That was worth it.
All right, 4-1.
All right, I'm gonna submit these scores.
Sorry, I was gonna do something really mean.
Dear, oh dear. This is gonna be a bloodbath. The next matchup is a battle between Mick and Clanky. After that round, hopefully this is a mood raiser. It is Cities Skylines versus Total War Attila. Who would like to go first in this one?
I'll go first because I think I'm the only one here who's played Total War Attila.
Okay, cool.
So this game is not going to get a lot of votes. I
didn't even start the countdown yet. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Again, I'm a bad host.
I was also waiting for the countdown, and I was getting really like, when you like fucking like use subliminal messaging, like you remember that episode of The Office, Mick, where Jim continues to give Dwight a mint, and
yes,
like every time he starts up his operating system, and then like he starts the operating system, and Dwight reaches his hand for the mint, but he doesn't have a mint, and his like tongue starts drying up. That's how I was when the timer didn't go off.
Anyway, starting this round in 3, 2, 1, go, Mick.
Yeah. Okay. So Total War Attila is. I don't think this is going to get a lot of votes. I'm almost certain Total War is probably not the kind of game that Graham, you'll always surprise me. You might be into it. Anyway,
I like Napoleon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, exactly. Yeah. So Total War is an RTS franchise that kind of focuses on really complex and realistic depictions of historical battles. And like I should say, like the Total War fans are like ravenously addicted to historical accuracy.
Ooh.
There's like an infamous. It's one of the longest like forum threads of all time, and it's an entire ongoing argument about whether or not the sandals in Total War Rome 2 are accurate or not. And like they're citing academic paper after academic paper. Like, yeah. My first Total War game was actually Total War Attila. And I got it because the setting was one of the time periods that interests me the most. And that is the final days of the Western Roman Empire. Specifically, the game concentrates on the period in which the Huns invade Europe and the Middle East, and also the migration period of Germanic tribes and whatnot, carving up of Rome. It's kind of hard to describe, other than to just give the historical background on what the game is like. It's such a I actually don't even know how to really describe it. Because it's so different from every other game on this list, and from the kind of games that any of the rest of you, except for Graham, actually play. I'm kind of at a loss for words now that I think about it. I'm just trying to explain why I like this game.
How similar is it to like a Civ game?
You see, that's the thing, is that it's like similar in that it's a strategy game, but like, Civ is turn-based and it's fairly gamey. Whereas Total War strives for more accuracy. So, like in Total War, you'll enter a battle, and like the fight is like you're not really trying to defeat the enemy. It's more about depleting their morale till the enemy troops desert. And you can do that by killing a lot of them. It's kind of like Jordan, you're into some sports, right?
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Imagine if you tried to talk to Taylor about that.
I watched the Yankees.
Yeah, he and I have a lot of common threads on the Yankees.
Oh, really?
Actually.
Okay. Taylor was a bad choice then, but you get where I'm.
A good choice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Me trying to explain baseball to Christian.
Yeah. It's like he might be able to grasp it, but like it's kind of like like, and so that's kind of how I feel with Total War Attila, is that like here's something. I'll talk about my emotional connection to the game, because when I was on that gap year, that summer was the year I once again, because I hadn't talked to him for a few years at that point. We hadn't talked for about 2 or 3 years. 2 years. It'd been 2 years since we last talked. I started talking to my friend Eric again.
Okay. Oh.
And our big bonding moment was that we played Total War Attila together, and we're just constantly talk while playing the game. We played it almost the entire summer. Was playing Total War Attila and talking. Okay. A lot of fun. And yeah, and even though it's not gonna win, even though it's not getting close to winning, I'm glad I got a chance to talk about it.
Right. We should probably get to talk about the other game though.
Yeah. Oh, also, one last thing, and this will go quickly. The soundtrack is fantastic. I still listen to it. It's mostly Mongolian throat singing.
Yes.
Oh. Awesome.
What do you mean it's mostly Mongolian throat singing?
There's one sting song.
Obviously, the actual music is sort of symphonic orchestral pieces.
Orchestral pieces.
Orchestral pieces. But then there's this layer of Central Asian instruments and throat singing on top of it. Every song.
Someone pitched City Skylines to me, because I've heard a lot of people talk about playing dozens of hours into it, but I don't entirely understand it.
It's just a city building sim, like Sim City, except it's just done very, very well.
So it's like Stardew Valley?
No.
Like how Stardew Valley is to Harvest Moon, as City Skylines is to Sim City.
In that sense, yes.
Okay,
yeah, you're definitely right.
Okay.
City Skylines is just a very, very fun. It's one of those games where if you know what you're getting into when you play it. It's a city simulator, and if that's something that you're into, then you're going to love City Skylines, because it basically does pretty much everything right. They have like this little tweet system that I think gets annoying after you play it for a while, but I mean it's not intrusive.
I'm sorry,
if they were always helpful tweets, it'd be one thing, but it's kind of nonsense.
Sometimes it'll be like, oh my goodness, thanks to the hashtag mayor for putting down a hashtag park, hashtag blessed, and like that's the extent of most of the tweets, and you get like a little "bum" every time like one of the tweets comes up, and it gets annoying after a bit.
You can't turn that off?
I've never tried.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's one of those things where, like, you don't really notice it until, like, you hear the stupid notification again. But by that point, you're, like, trying to figure out how to redistrict this zone that you're not really thinking about it.
Like, that's the thing. It bothers you when it happens. And then, as soon as the sound stops playing, you have totally forgotten about it being annoying.
But that's the worst thing I can say about City Skylines. Everything else about it is fantastic. I love the fact that you can name your roads. I love the fact that you can click on people and name them. It's just like, it's great. It's a great game, and if you love city builders, it's exactly what you're looking for.
Okay.
Is it at all like Roller Coaster Tycoon?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is anything like Roller Coaster Tycoon?
You see, this is why I was like, I don't even know how to go about talking about Total War Attila.
This is my thing. Like, I really got nothing in this one, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you can build amusement parks in the City Skylines. It's not nearly as in-depth as Roller Coaster Tycoon. But you can get that experience if you really want to.
Is it the same as in, like, it's that type of... Is it at all in that management, type of game? Is it?
Oh and then it's like a simulation of building a thing.
And you're trying to make your profit you're trying to have your city make a profit and everything.
Like, yeah, can you
can play with
everybody
God mode where you just like give yourself infinite money, but you can also definitely try to play the game with like a goal in mind of trying to get this much money and get this amount of people to come to your city and stuff like that.
Okay. Are there like individual mission goals, or is it completely free?
No, it's just kind of do what you want.
Yeah, it's kind of just build a city. I mean, there are like milestones you can try and reach for, but it's not like a goal. It's sort of like, I'm going to do this run. I'm going to make a city. I'm going to make a city that exclusively uses water towers, or just something crazy like that. Or I'm going to create a giant sewage volcano in the center of my city.
Yeah, because why not?
If there are goals in it, it's definitely like getting your population up, because each time you get your population to a new milestone, you unlock more stuff for your city. So if there is a goal for the game, that would be it.
Yeah, but there's not like missions per se, unless again you want to run for the milestones, which are kind of like things where like if you accomplish certain things, they'll give you you'll be able to like place special like buildings or parks and things. But it's totally like optional, and you don't have to do it. So,
Okay.
The best way to avoid traffic in City Skylines is to not put down any traffic lights. Because there's no mechanism for car crashes in the game.
So it's like self-driving. Everyone's in a Tesla, and they're just going down the...
they're all in self-driving cars, and so it's impossible for them to crash. So stoplights mean absolutely nothing. So as long as you don't build stoplights, you'll never have traffic problems. It's really funny.
That is funny.
Cool. So unless anybody else has any last points, let's get down to business to defeat
the Huns.
Yes. Thank you.
It's really applicable because Total War Attila.
It really is. I came up with it 2 minutes in. Graham, you are up first.
As much as I love it, like the one Total War game I have played, Total War Napoleon, I have to get City Skylines because I actually played it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taylor.
I mean, if we're following the rules of the Mulan movie, City Skylines is the team I want to root for.
Yeah.
I think, I really don't see myself playing either of these anytime soon, but I at the very least feel like City Skylines has a setting I would that appeals a little more to me.
Yeah, it's not
and I think, here's the thing, Taylor. I think if I ever showed you the UI for Total War Attila, your brain would shut down and be like, no.
If a UI is introduced to me one step at a time, if a game is tutorialized correctly...
It's not like that. It kind of throws you in the deep end. It's got a narrator and everything. But
yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it's got a narrator who's like, incidentally, he's not like a narrator talking to you. Like, the tutorial isn't delivered by like a narrator, like, telling you, hey, this is how you play the game. He's talking to you, like, in-universe.
Mick, I apologize. One of these days, you'll have something I've never heard of that I really will be on your side with. It's just...
Oh, I know. That day is not today.
Might not be today.
Could be soon. For the rest of your life.
Actually, next round possibly. We'll see.
Yeah. Christian.
Even though it's gonna lose, not much of a SimCity guy, much more of a Planet Coaster guy, or a roller coaster tycoon guy, actually. Total War Attila.
Well, you see, it might not lose. Mick.
I mean, I'm voting for Total War Attila.
Yeah. And oh wait, no, Graham already voted. Never mind. So it probably is gonna lose. Clanky.
It's going to be City Skylines.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot what the order was for a moment.
I'm super happy with that result.
Okay.
That is one of the closer ones.
The next bracket. Okay. Time for Jordan's wild card to get annihilated again. It is Warhammer End Times Vermintide, which is a Mick pick, versus Fallout 4, which is our wild card.
Jordan, let me be your champion in this fight. Let me
just say,
I enjoy Fallout 4.
Yeah,
Graham, do you want to go first?
Fallout 4.
Yeah.
All right, Graham will go first.
And Mick also enjoys Fallout 4.
I'm going to start the countdown in 3, 2, 1. Go, Graham.
Fallout 4 is a very good game, just not a very good Fallout game.
I thought you said you were going to champion me.
No, yes.
He is. He's trying.
Yes. But there's certain facts about it that you have to
Graham,
get
what are you
over
doing?
in order to enjoy it. And even then, like, I don't think it does have a lot of Fallout elements. I do think it does pretty well. Like the adaptation of like 50s culture into like a broader setting of like the world itself. In that you have its allegory for Red Scare being, what if people were secretly robots? But yeah, like Fallout 4 is a very fun like looter shooter. I enjoy. It has one of my favorite companions from any Fallout game, which is Nick Valentine, who is a robot who is installed with the memories of like an old hokey detective. That I thought the big reveal is going to be, oh, he's not actually memories of a real detective. He was based off of like an old like Dick Tracy film or whatever. But no, that's just how the guy apparently was.
Wow.
It's like old like trench coat wearing, fedora hat wearing detective named Nick Valentine, his real name. The Far Harbor DLC. The only thing I'll say about the Far Harbor DLC is it's probably the closest it gets to being like for me like the full story-based Fallout.
You solve a murder mystery with robots.
Yeah. Going into Far Harbor, I heard from somewhere that there's an option that you can have it so that way you can kill everyone on the island, and my thought was, that's weird. Why would anyone do that? And then guess what my final choice was on in that DLC. I like a lot of things about Fallout 4. There's a lot, even just story-wise, because I feel like obviously it nowhere even close to being in the same league as New Vegas. Like that just goes without saying. But there are some like genuinely like great moments I think in it. Like there's a reveal that happens like 2/3 of the way to the story that your voice protagonist, one of the options is just the words bullshit, and that's what my reaction was. In a good way. And there's also a point where you go into the memories of someone who has only been a villain to you, and you kind of get this explanation for how this guy, how his life just turned him into who he was when you killed him. That I think is very interesting. But yeah, I very much enjoyed Fallout 4.
I like Fallout 4 a lot. I probably would have liked it a ton more if I hadn't played New Vegas first. Specifically because the one thing that I feel like Fallout 4 is missing is the choice, is like the option-based dialogue of New Vegas, whereas the dialogue system in Fallout 4 is not very good. Where basically you don't know what you're going to say because they give you very, very limited dialogue options. But the actual gameplay, I think, is really, really fun. With the exception of Nuka World. Couldn't finish that one. But you're right, Far Harbor is a really good DLC. The story is interesting. I had a difficult time caring about any of the factions to any degree, but it made for interesting conversation at the end. There's this really fun side quest that I like, and it's a very simple one. There's a radio station, and there's this really nervous radio broadcaster, and like these two dudes want to inspire confidence in him, so they stage a kidnapping and then get kidnapped for real. And through this process, you're able to instill confidence enough in the guy that like throughout the rest of the game, he'll talk more confidently on the radio, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. I should say, by the way, I was trying to think, what is my favorite side quest? And I'm trying to think, I can only think of 2 side quests, and one of them was the one you mentioned.
Yeah, sorry. I think also, to Graham's point, the 50s period is definitely nailed the best in this one, especially in the music. I felt like there are so many songs that I heard from this game that I now like go back just for fun, like Uranium Fever, Atom Bomb Baby.
I honestly think, and this is a really controversial. I think that's actually one of the weaknesses of the game, is how much it feels like it really feels in a lot of ways like they just don't understand the Fallout universe. Like the game is more about the 50s than about the like it doesn't make much sense as an apocalypse story.
I mean, I can't really feel that way when you get to look at the actual world. It's
No. As in, that's the problem. It doesn't make sense that everything still looks the way it did. They've been
because that's the only time period from before they knew.
Yeah, no. But the nuclear apocalypse was 500 years ago, and people are still living, and people are still acting like it's the 1950s, and not cleaning up the skeletons that are everywhere.
Those skeletons have class.
No, they don't. Every place is covered in dirt and rubble, and it's like, guys, you have been here for 500 years. Clean the fucking floor.
What is that, a Fallout 4 exclusive thing?
No, it's not. It's not a Fallout 4 exclusive thing. It's a problem I had. It's a problem with 3 and New Vegas as well, honestly. But like, it really shows in 4.
Listen, me and my dog went on a fun adventure together. I didn't take any other companions because going with the dog gives you extra inventory weight. Played it for like 60-something hours. Had a very, very nice time.
Okay, good. We haven't talked about the other game in this.
The game that only I have played.
I'll give you enough time to talk.
Hang on, Graham, have you played Vermintide?
I have not.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Just me. How many of you have played Left 4 Dead?
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. I want you to imagine, what if Left 4 Dead, but instead of zombies, they were rats.
Like, that's all you needed to say. That's all you needed to say.
Instead of a bunch of, I'll admit, colorful characters that can use any gun, what if instead there were 5 different characters to choose from, and they all have different weapons and different abilities and whatnot, and each of them is such a unique and fun character. Because, like, here's the thing. Like, for Left 4 Dead, like, they're characters that people like, but for the most part, there's, like, 1 or 2 characters in each group that people like and can remember. I mean, you remember all of them, but, like, in Warhammer End Times Vermintide, every character is just perfectly on point. My personal favorite character and the character that I main is the Witch Hunter, Victor Saltspire. Okay? He quite possibly is one of my favorite characters in video games. Okay? He talks like... I'm gonna say my favorite line from him, and this is what happens when he gets downed and then gets revived. Sigma bless this ravaged body! And he says it in exactly the tone of voice that I said it in. Jesus. He is constantly going on about heresy. There's another character, his name is Victor Saltspire anyway. There's another character, Marcus Kruber, who plays as a soldier. In terms of weapons, Victor Saltspire has, his main weapon is a rapier and 30 pistols.
Not 29, not 31.
He fights like you know, fucking, what's his name, Reaper from Overwatch? Where rather than reloading his weapons, he just throws away the old ones. Victor Saltspire does that, except he has, like, apparently 30 pistols somewhere on his person. Marcus Kruger has a long sword and like a blunderbuss, and he's, like, you know, the gruff, no nonsense sort of soldier character. The other characters are a witch, an elf, and a dwarf, and the dwarf is quite possibly one of the most dwarf characters in anything ever. Like, he gives Gimli from Lord of the Rings a run for his money. His name is Barden Gorkson.
Oh my god.
He has an axe, a shield, and a crossbow, and he talks like this. Khazad-dûn! It's the best thing ever. The elf is like, Carillion. She is fantastic. Incidentally, there's, like, romantic subplots in this game as well, with Carillion having a thing for Marcus Kruger, and Victor Saltspire, the Witch Hunter, having a thing with the witch. And the best part about it is they're both like Saltspire and Sienna, though the witch. They're both really unlikable people. They're also both really old, and they also inexplicably the plot is that Saltspire is arresting Sienna, but then they wind up. Okay, so the plot is they're all in the city of Uberstrike when suddenly the Skaven invade, and the Skaven are giant humanoid rodents, giant rats. Okay, and there's so many different types of fun rats to fight. Like, there are rats in armor, and then there's also rats with miniguns, or as they're called in the game, rattling guns, because they're Gatling guns, but wielded by rats.
Rattling guns.
Can I be honest with you, Mick?
Yeah.
I feel like you just snorted a bunch of cocaine and then went to a guy. It's like, all right, let me pitch you my fantasy world. All right, here's what it is. And, like, this is just all
kind of the game is kind of just like, okay, it's Left 4 Dead, but it's just rats. Okay, it's rats, and almost everyone has melee weapons instead of ranged weapons.
And this is a franchise.
Oh, so the developer Fat Shark. Who's previous to this, their probably best known game was, I mean, there's a few things. The Bionic Commando Rearmed 2. They made the second Dead Island spinoff.
Wow.
And then
Dead Island spinoff?
Oh, there are tons of Dead Island spinoff, half of them canceled.
Wonderful.
But then Games Workshop offered them the Warhammer Fantasy license, and they said, yeah, sure, we're going to do it. And they made Warhammer End Times Vermintide, and it was great. And then in 3 years later, they're gonna make Warhammer Vermintide 2, which, despite dropping the end times from the title, is actually less about Vermintide than the first one because they introduced chaos. They introduced the Chaos Hordes in addition to the Skaven rats, and the Beastmen as well. And it like the sequel is better in almost every way. Because they've been given so much more money. And then coming out this year, Warhammer 40k Darktide, which is the exact same game, but this time in the 40k universe with a new cast of characters and new enemies.
So it's like Dynasty Warriors.
I like the Left 4 Dead.
I don't understand this comparison.
Because Dynasty Warriors is apparently like the same game and the same story, but like different.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that the story of Warhammer End Times, the story of Warhammer Vermintide 2 is actually, rather than doing the Left 4 Dead 2 thing and just creating a new cast of characters, it's the same cast of characters moving on in their storyline. And they're constantly moving all of these, they're constantly moving, like, the characters are one of the best things. I actually had to delete the game once, because the game isn't that big, but the audio files... There's so many different lines of dialogue, and the audio files took up so much fucking space in my hard drive. I delete the entire game. Because also, they're not compressed in any way. It's really weird. They're just a bunch of... the voice lines are all individual, uncompressed audio files. It's wild. I don't know how much more I could even talk about Warhammer End Times Vermintide, other than just say, it's Left 4 Dead, but with rats.
Okay,
Uranium fever has done and got me down.
Okay, Taylor, it is actually your vote. So.
Uranium fever is messing all around with a diamond. Wait, I forgot the
Geiger
words.
counter in my hand. I'm going out to take peace in government land. Uranium fever, you got me down.
I'm voting for Fallout 4.
That was a nice laugh. I liked that. Okay, one vote for Fallout 4. Surprisingly, Christian.
I was like, when this round started, I was like, "There's no way Mick's gonna be able to sell me on Warhammer End Times Vermintide. This is the game I am the least interested in this entire bracket. There's
and
no
then
way."
He said the opening sentence of it's Left 4 Dead 2 with rats, and then he didn't even need to say the rest of it.
To be fair, you said Left 4 Dead.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you didn't even need to go on your full explanation for me, because once you said Left 4 Dead with rats, I was sold. So I'm going Vermintide.
Okay. Nick.
I'm running for Vermintide. I like Fallout 4, but Vermintide is beautiful. It's like Left 4 Dead. It's also like Left 4 Dead in that, like, playing it alone. It's like going to a carnival alone. Like,
you have to make your own fun.
It's not like, obviously it's fun, but like it feels empty and soulless without another person.
Okay, Clanky.
I love Left 4 Dead and I love rats, so I'm voting for Warhammer.
Oh my!
What? Graham.
Jordan, I apologize. I really thought.
This always happens.
Look, ma'am. I really thought this one would make it through a round.
No. Why would it?
Jordan, Stanley Parable won.
But that's the thing. Now it's cursed.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, about Fallout 4, right? Is that, like, I don't think of the rest of us, like, this wasn't I hate this game, so I'm picking the other one.
Anything Jordan puts on, I have enjoyed every single game Jordan has put up.
I was originally going to vote for Fallout 4, and then Mick said fucking rats.
Those fucking rats.
Yeah. All right.
Knew they were going to come back and infest us one of these days.
You fucking people. All right. The next bracket is a Clanky versus Taylor matchup. It is, oh boy, Life is Strange versus Splatoon.
Splatoon?
Splatoon Island, yes. Who would like to go first in this round?
I feel like I'm gonna be fighting tooth and nail for Life is Strange.
Well, actually, Clanky, can I just say, I respect you for putting it on here.
That's honestly, I'm shocked.
I played Life is Strange. I'm a fan of the franchise.
May I go first?
Yeah, of course.
You may. We're gonna
just wanted you to know, like, it's not a nothing game.
Fair enough.
All right, we're starting this round in 3, 2, 1. Go with Clanky.
I'll be the first to admit that if you don't like one of the two main characters in Life is Strange, the game won't work for you. And I really hate to say that, and I know it sounds like I'm selling the game short, and it's my pick, but I mean, if you do like the two main characters, then it's probably one of the best story-based games you can play. And I like it because, unlike some other games that we've talked about, it really does feel like your choices matter in Life is Strange. And you can make, like, I guess, like, it depends. Fuck. Can I talk about spoilers for Life is Strange or no?
No.
Yes.
No? Okay.
Okay, then I guess
so, Life is Strange, fuck. It's got an ending, that's for sure. That being said, most people do not like the ending. I am an ending defender. I think it's probably the best ending it could have gone for.
I mean, you have a choice.
I don't want to get more into it than that, because if I do, I'm definitely going to accidentally spoil it. But what I will say is that Life is Strange has a very good cast of characters that are all very not only engaging, but believable. They're not all necessarily likable, but again, I feel like, or not again, but I feel like a game doesn't have to have a totally likable cast to have a good cast. So I think Life is Strange is great. I also really do like Splatoon. It's tough for me to say a lot about Splatoon because I really got into Splatoon a lot when I played the second one, and I really like the improvements that the second one adds, but that's not to undermine Splatoon 1, because Splatoon 1 does have a lot of mechanics and is another great example of, or not a great example, it's a good example of what the gamepad can do. And I can respect it for that. But I just love the story so much in Life is Strange, and I think that the tale of the two characters that it centers around is really something unique and special. That's it.
Can I ask something quickly?
Mm-hmm.
I really think that Splatoon is like a really good demonstration of the touchpad.
That's why I
That's why you pulled it back. Got it. Okay, yeah. I said great, and then I was like, no, it's not great. It's good. It's not, I wouldn't call it great.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, to be honest.
Yeah, it has good mechanics for the gamepad. But
okay.
Again, it's not. They're not like, oh my god, like this is what the gamepad is capable of. You know what I mean? That's why I kind of backed up there. But yeah.
Let me say my piece about Life is Strange, because I don't know how many other people here have played it. Did you play it, Graham?
I have not, but I know everything.
All right, so I think one of the things... Okay, so look, at the end of the day, Life is Strange is Square Enix's take on the modern Telltale on Telltale adventure games. And in that sense, it may seem like I'm going to say it's another your choice doesn't matter thing. And in some capacity, that is still true. I know Clanky said it does. But see, the thing about Life is Strange that I feel like the smart thing it does is that it kind of knows that its choices are not going to, its choices are only going to lead you, are going to make you feel certain. Life is Strange does this thing. So the main character's ability, the whole point of this game is that you have the ability to rewind time, and every time there is a plot crucial choice, you have the ability to rewind time and see the other choice. And I like that because it allows me to examine things from both perspectives without feeling guilty, because I am able to know, like, okay, so this is what's going to happen if I do this. This is what's going to happen if I do this. It doesn't allow me to feel like there is a right and wrong one. There will be ramifications that you don't see until later, but at the very least, I feel like I am able to be more responsible for my own choices and not rushed into just force choosing the one that's going to make me feel stupider. I am kind of... Here, what Clanky said about liking both characters, I like the game and I hate Chloe, so it can still work. I'm sorry, man. Chloe is not a good character.
I disagree. I very much disagree, but I understand where you're coming from.
It's
Chloe's a very loud and abrasive character, and if that's not something that you're looking for in a character, you're just not going to like Chloe.
But you know what? It's just also like I don't agree with the backstory making her that way and how she chooses to lash out. I just think
That's Before the Storm, though. That's not this game's fault. I don't like Before the Storm. I think Before the Storm kind of ruins Chloe's character.
But I'm not even.
If we're taking it in context of just this game, I think she's a great character.
There are a couple of lines in there that I really was mad at her for saying, and it's fine. That's not what this is about. listen, one of the more difficult decisions in Life is Strange is deciding whether you want to have waffles or pancakes for breakfast. And that's like, that's kind of like to the game's, I think, the benefit is that like the choices like gradually get, it's not like it's constantly striking you with like crazy choices so much as it is the decisions and the weight behind the choices become more intense. But I feel like it's easier to shape your own experience a little more because it's much more, it doesn't pretend that it's going to tell a different story depending on your choices. Rather, it tells the same story and your choices are just kind of there. It doesn't pretend to have that. I don't think it pretends to be deeper like Telltale. And
I see where you're coming from, but I don't necessarily, and I don't want to talk about it because of spoilers. And I know what you're referring to, right?
Yeah, no,
like, I know what you're talking about as far as the choice.
Later, we can.
I think that at the end of the day, the choices, I guess you can make the argument that they don't matter, but I disagree in the sense of, because when you're playing it, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not saying they don't matter. I'm saying they're more, well, maybe I am, but I'm saying they're like, they're not, I'll talk about it later. It's fine.
It kind of feels like, just one of these things where it kind of feels like I'm listening to two people argue in a foreign language.
It's hard to explain. It's very.
I know. I understand. I totally understand. I'm just saying it's really funny to listen to this as an outsider.
It's fine. Yeah. I mean, this was me listening to you world build Warhammer. I'll say on Splatoon's credit, when I saw Splatoon, I thought it was one of the most incredibly original ideas I'd ever seen, and I still think it's an incredibly great idea for a video game. Which like, and for a game with like a gun, it's like, holy shit, this is something like I actively want to play. Yeah. I sat down, I bought it on launch. I had the most delightful weekend, just such a good weekend, and then I never ever played it again.
That's what I was waiting for.
If there's one thing I can't fucking stand about Splatoon, it's not even the game's fault. It's that Nintendo, like, released this game and said, up, but you only get 2 courses a day. And it's like, why? Why is that one of the decisions you made? Not only that, but it's like, you also have the ranked, or the ranked battle or whatever. And it's like, it's the ranked battle for today is this specific game mode. And if you don't like it, then eat dirt.
And there was also new content when it came out.
Yes, that's another big issue with Splatoon. It's tough to judge it on that because now that it has all its content and all the weapons and maps and stuff, it feels like a complete game. But it sucks that it took too long to get there. And then,
this is a bad Nintendo practice.
Yeah, I think that the Turf War was supposed to be like the premier like game mode for Splatoon, but there's no competitive Turf War. Like that just seems like a huge oversight to me. And it's like, Splatoon is a game that I want to love more because the concept is so good, but it's just held back by Nintendo's stupid fucking decisions.
Listen, man, I had fun. The final boss of the story mode is phenomenal.
It's a great final boss.
I won't argue. The story mode I'm not really talking about because I haven't played the Splatoon 1 story mode. I've only played Splatoon 2's. But it's there, and it's cool, and I'm glad that it exists.
Yeah, that's really when I play Splatoon, I'm going to have to replay... I'm going to have to play Splatoon 2 just for the story mode because it's going to be irrelevant when Splatoon 3 comes out.
You're not wrong.
Anyone else want to go?
I want to say something. I'm in a club that you guys would probably not expect me to be in. I am in the one of the first people to play Splatoon club.
Wow.
Really?
Because
launch day?
No, not launch day. I played it before that.
You snuck into Nintendo and played it without
knowing? No. I played during one of the network tests before the game even released.
Whoa. Oh, wow. I thought you went to Reggie's house. Hello.
No.
My name is
Reggie's house. They had done a network. They had done a network test. Where they just let some people in, and playing it early on, and I went over to Kyle's house for it, and we played it. If I was able to play with a different controller, probably. I had to play the game with like 3 iPads between my hands, so it was kind of a.
That's.
What do you mean 3?
Because the thickness of a Wii U gamepad.
It is very thick. I'm holding one right now, and it's like a Fisher-Price toy.
It's like you hold.
What do you mean you're holding one right now?
He's holding a Wii U gamepad right now.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
He's using the gamepad to play the Yearlies.
That's how he votes.
Or a game.
Christian, have you played Splatoon?
I played Splatoon 2.
Okay. Any thoughts, Graham?
Nah, not really.
Was that beeping on my end, or did you guys hear that?
That was me. That was me. Yeah. Sorry, my like speakers were like humming, so I just turned them off.
Fine. I thought my hard drive was about to die.
I thought it was Megalovania again.
Fuck! I gotta get out the fucking. No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah. But I will say both of these games are solid games.
Yeah.
Clanky, have you played Life is Strange 2?
I've played, I think, episodes 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, and I really, really liked it. The only thing that sucks is that, like, the episodes were... I was playing it with a friend in college, and then by the time the episodes were releasing, we graduated, so I never got to finish it. I remember really liking the first couple episodes.
Yeah, haven't played the newest one.
Are we ready to get to the vote?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Taylor, you're up first.
Oh, geez, am I?
Mm-hmm. Would you not like to be?
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay. Christian.
I'm voting for Life is Strange.
All right.
Can I ask why?
Because as much as I like Splatoon 2, I didn't really like it enough to override the idea of the idea of what Life is Strange has been described to me by you guys. I think you know, if I only
I'm sorry, it's not a traditional point and click game, but it's like a Telltale modern game, right?
Well, I appreciate a Telltale modern game a little bit more than like Life is Strange does not seem like it's a puzzle game, you know.
Not really.
Yeah,
unless you count the difficulty of choosing between waffles and pancakes a puzzle.
Exactly. So I don't think that's something I really have to worry about with Life is Strange, and that's why I'm voting for it.
Okay. Mick.
Well, this is going to be weird, because I own one of these games. For the past however many years, Life is Strange has sat in my Steam library, gathering literal dust. I've actually played Splatoon. I'm giving it to Splatoon, even though I probably will... Life is Strange is so much more my game, and it's on a console that, people play. And I can play Life is Strange at some point. I can't play Splatoon again. But I don't know, I was interested enough in Splatoon to go over to Kyle's house and play it, but I'm not interested in Life is Strange enough to literally open up Steam and click on a few buttons. So I'm gonna go with Splatoon.
All right. Wow. Clanky.
I'm giving it to Life is Strange.
Okay. Graham.
I'm more likely to play Life is Strange than...
And Taylor, it's already a 3-1 vote. So
yeah, that helps. I think I really appreciate the for lack of a better term, freshness of Splatoon, and I feel like as a franchise, it may, like, if I ever can get myself back into it as a franchise, it'll probably overtake Life is Strange as a franchise for me. Life is Strange has fun stories, but Splatoon's gameplay is pretty good.
Yeah.
And you're a kid, you're a squid.
Yeah.
So true.
Now, you're a squid
so
now.
True.
You're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kitty.
Splatoon's music is actually unironically pretty good.
It is great.
No, it is.
3-2, yeah, Life is Strange.
3-2, Life is Strange.
Okay. Perfect.
Our next bracket is a Mick versus Graham battle. And it is Sunless Sea versus The Witcher 3. And if you are ready, who is going first? E.
Taylor would love to go first.
Okay. This rhyming bit is going to end now. And if everybody's ready, we're going to jump into this one in 3, 2, 1. Taylor, go.
I never thought when The Witcher was introduced to me as a concept that I would ever care enough about it to even end up playing it. And the longer it existed in this void, the more good things I heard about, specifically The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And I was like, all right, so it doesn't matter how I feel about the first 2 games, I'll just play them to try Wild Hunt. And Witcher 1 was actually already really good to me. I was very shocked by how much I enjoyed it. And I'm like, holy shit, if this is how good 1 is, then I bet 2 is going to be phenomenal. And then 2 wasn't as good. That's just my personal opinion. It's still really good. I like 1 a little more, which might be a weird thing. I think 2 is a little weirdly hard, and I feel like its story is kind of the same. But The Witcher 3 happened, and it fucking blew my mind. Like, it's so good, man. Here's the thing. Witcher 3, by all definitions, I shouldn't like it, because Witcher 3 is like a high fantasy political story. But it's actually, that's a cover. It's actually disguised that way. Witcher 3's true story is his personal story about human morality, which is a really powerful theme to me. In Witcher games, you make choices not too dissimilar than a Telltale game or a Life is Strange game, but it's not about making the right choice. It's about making a neutral choice. It's about making a choice that either way sucks, but you have to decide for yourself who will get, like, who gets hurt less, or what is the Witcher 3. The Witcher likes to use the example, the lesser evil. It's a game that constantly has you choosing the lesser evil. I don't always approach my choices that way, but it's that morality standpoint that constantly keeps me engaged in everything I do in the game. I compare it to Skyrim a ton throughout the time I played it, because ultimately, I think it does so many things better than Skyrim, because it keeps you so much more engaged. It's not just senseless lore, it's this actual character who has his own ideals that you kind of have to decide for him what he would rather do, Geralt of Rivia. And as a result, you get way more meaningful side quests, where they all don't feel like fodder, Radiant, go fetch this. They feel like genuine things you're doing for actual story characters that may or may not affect things later down the road. And they're really good side quests. You can in the DLC alone, you do a side quest where you look for a statue's lost genitals.
Oh God.
And you have to decide whether or not to take them from the guy who's using them to restore his lost libido. Or
libido, you mean?
Libido, sorry, I don't know why I said it that way.
Can I just say, I was assuming it's probably because you'd only ever seen it written, and I was going to call you on it because I know
libido,
that.
It just came out that way by accident. In another one, you fucking take drugs and talk to your horse Roach.
I've done that.
And Roach is Geralt names every horse Roach. So you grow attached to your horse, even if you have multiple of them throughout the game. And he's incredibly fun. She's incredibly fun to ride on. And there's the combat is really good for one of these types of games where where slashing feels really good. I don't love the one thing that I think Skyrim does better is its skill points. I like how I can invest into each individual talent. Whereas in Witcher 3, you buy a talent and equip them to a subset of slots. That's not as good. But fucking The Witcher 3 has Gwent, and it taught me, it didn't teach me, it reminded me how much I care for games that have a card game in them, where the card game is not the main thing. It's just this thing you can do with everybody. And they're all cards based off characters in the franchise, so I can go fucking collect my Geralt of Rivia card and my Siegfried of Demisel. Sorry, I forgot already. There are 2 DLC campaigns, and they're both incredibly good. Again, leaning into that morality. You go to fucking Toussaint, which is like an even more Renaissance-based type thing. Like, they have jousting and knights' tourneys as opposed to the base game, and that's really cool. And I put 160 hours into it in a month.
Damn.
And I loved every single minute of it. Damn. And the story is actually really, really good. The gameplay is really, really good. And it's just a game where I constantly feel like everything I'm doing has value. Even the money, I feel like I always found myself not having a super huge influx because I could run it, because things are very expensive, so you could run out very fast if you choose to. It's not as big of a deal, but like I think it's interesting for these types of games. I love The Witcher 3.
I'm just gonna say just like one thing about like The Witcher 3, and that
then we gotta go to Sunless.
Yeah, it has Yennefer, who is extremely my type.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Stern, raven-haired woman. Yes.
Wait, what was the first bit?
Stern, raven-haired.
Really? You're into stern women. I would never have guessed that.
You're related to Howard.
That's another thing, is that in Witcher 3 there's like a love triangle between you and two sorceresses, and you have to decide which one you'd rather be with. I also leaned more with Yennefer because I felt like she made more sense for Geralt. And also I just never liked Triss for some reason.
No, I like Triss. It's just that it's Yennefer. Like I can't choose anyone else.
But even that, like, just the woman you choose to be with, they both have meaningful side quests that that help build and form your relationships with them. And much like other things in The Witcher 3, you have the difficult choice to make of who you want to be with. You can't be with both of them, and if you try to be with both of them, you will be punished.
I've been there.
Can I talk about Sunless Sea?
I was going to say, we need to talk about Sunless Sea, because we spent 7 minutes on this.
Sunless Sea is a game about... how do I put this?
It's a game about nothing! No.
So, hang on, Graham, have you played Sunless Sea, right?
Yes, I have.
Yes, okay. So here's the premise, right? The city of London has been stolen by bats.
And
it was
Moonfall as well.
With bats.
And it was dragged a mile underground. It is now on the banks of a vast underground ocean called the Untersee. And in this game, you play as a sailor on the sea. I'm not making this up. This is what it's called. You're a sailor on the sea. And the premise of the game is that you are a sailor on the sea, and the game is pretty open-ended about what you want, of what your goal will be. Like, the primary sort of thing you do is make money by going to different ports, purchasing things, and then going to other ports and dropping them off. But along the way, you'll be caught up in some of the zaniest side quests you will ever play.
I'm putting in the Benny Hill thing. Yeah.
I will say, since we haven't done a lot of arguing game versus game, you're gonna have to really push for those side quests in the Sunless Sea to be better than The Witcher 3's.
Okay, so here's the thing I'm saying. In terms of production values, The Witcher 3 has Sunless Sea beat. Sunless Sea tells its stories primarily through text. It has some graphics, but
I'm sorry, go on.
Just a few.
Yeah, look, it's a really pretty, very atmospheric game, but it's 2D. It's a top-down 2D game, and the art is drawn. There's not 3D sculpt. There's no 3D models. Like it's not. It doesn't look. It has great atmosphere, but it's not a graphical. It's not gonna knock your socks off graphically like let's go again. Like The Witcher will.
That's not why I play it, but
I'm not saying that's why you play it. I'm just saying it's something you have to know going in. But anyway, I'll say some of the side quests. You will find an island, and this island there's a small island, and there's a war going on the island between rats and gerbils.
How many of your games in 2015 involved rats?
Guinea pigs. They're guinea pigs. I'm sorry, I misspoke. They're guinea pigs. Guinea pigs and rats. And this is the only other rat thing I'm gonna mention. There is an island, and it's the island where every single lost letter winds up. If a letter's ever lost in the mail, it winds up on this island. You can go there, and they'll say, hey, deliver this letter. It's like 300 years late, but the mail must be delivered, am I right? The British Office of Naval Intelligence is building a second sun underground.
And when you approach it, like, you get, like, little messages that will, like, say like, oh, here's like a status update, like, oh, like somewhere something shifts in the deep. But when you approach the sun, it just keeps going. The sun, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun.
All caps, no spaces.
Yes.
I will not spoil what like the big true ending is. But like let's just say it's zany and sets up the next game, which is about the British Empire's colonization of the solar system.
Can I ask a
That's
question?
beautiful.
Yeah.
How
With
similar
trains.
is Sunless Seas to Sunless Skies?
Sunless Sky, they're basically the same game with totally different story. Sunless Skies is a kind of an improved version. Like, it looks much better than Sunless Seas does. Like, the art direction is much stronger. I mean, it's strong in Sunless Sea, but like the talent of the team has increased exponentially. It plays a little cleaner. You miss some of the atmosphere. Like, the atmosphere might be. Sunless Sea has a much more consistent atmosphere. In that, like, it's just going for underwater, underground ocean. Whereas Sunless Skies does a lot more, and it does those things better. But Sunless Skies is basically a better version of Sunless Sea.
I was wondering why this game looked so familiar, but it's because I've seen you play Sunless Sky before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, Sunless Sea is really solid. And it's kind of got a bit of a roguelike kind of thing, where you create your captain, and if you can get your captain hitched and have children, when that captain dies, you can play as the children, and they can continue on from where you left off. If you don't have children and you die an invalid, you have to start again.
Oh, I wanted his ghost to do it.
No, sadly. But that is actually entirely because one of the first things you do is you have to deliver a corpse to the land of the dead.
The land of the dead.
Yeah, the tomb colonies.
Nice.
Yeah, well,
what's going on?
hold up. They're not. Some of them aren't actually corpses. It's just that death doesn't really work a lot in other states.
Yes, death doesn't work, but you eventually become so old that you are indistinguishable from someone who is dead, and so they just kind of have to ship them off to the tomb colonies. Incidentally, there's been a revolution in Hell, and they've overthrown the aristocracy, and so now there's the Iron Republic of Hell. Unfortunately, in addition to throwing off all the old laws, they've also thrown off all laws, period, even the laws of like reality and logic and stuff. And so it's just a really terrible place to go if you're not. I mean, even if you are a demon, it's actually really terrible.
In The Witcher 3, this one guy keeps coming up to you and challenging you to a duel in the death in the name of his god, and you keep beating the shit out of him, and he runs away, and then like 5 hours later, he comes and challenges you again, and it eventually gets so bad you either have to kill him or hypnotize or use your hypnosis ability to send him home.
In Sunless Sea, there's a quest where a blind man will ask you, hey, collect these colors for me, and then he hands you a list of 8 colors that don't exist.
We've gone, I think, like 16 minutes on this entire thing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these. The thing about this Yearlies is so many of us haven't played so many of these games that it's basically just us pitching each game.
At least this year, everyone has at least one person has played a game, right?
Yeah, at least there's no game on this list that no one has played.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
But also, have you played Alien Isolation yet?
No, I'm waiting for anytime you guys wanna.
Yeah, okay. I saw you the other day and I couldn't make it. I was really hoping you didn't play it so I could make it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
We should probably vote.
We're gonna start the voting because we've gone like 2 hours on this. Taylor, you are first.
Guys, please vote for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's so good.
Okay. Christian?
I'm really sorry. Sunless Sea.
I hate you. We're not friends. Like,
Mick, I can only imagine.
I'm voting for Sunless Sea because I played it.
Okay. Graham, I also can only imagine. Oh wait, no, it's not Graham. No, wait, stop it.
This is very.
It's Clanky's turn actually. I switched you guys, I think.
This is tough. I've never played either of these games. I do have a passive interest in both.
This is gonna be the only one of the day that really hurts.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
I'm giving it to Sunless Sea.
Oh, I hate you all. What?
I'm
Oh.
sorry I swiped that away.
You know what it is? Mick is just so much better at pitching than I am.
Well, no. Listen, if there's something that might happen tonight, and I've already warned Jordan, I might actually start crying legitimately.
Yeah. Graham, I want to know what your vote was for that one.
This is very hard for me because these are both very unique experiences in their own way.
It's actually really hard to compare them. Like, if it was Witcher 3 versus Fallout 4, like, that would be much easier because they're at least similar.
Oh my god.
If you look at them both as simulation games, Witcher 3 being a Monster Simulator.
But Witcher 3 isn't a simulator game.
It kind of is for me.
It's an open world game.
Yeah, it's an open world monster hunting simulator.
Yeah, so is on the sea.
Yes.
But even oh god, whatever. Just vote for what you want.
I mean, Rocket League is a playing soccer in cars simulator.
Right.
Every game's a simulator if you think about it.
I'm gonna give it to Witcher 3.
Okay.
It was an extremely hard choice, but I had to.
I'll be honest. I'm shocked this one.
So am I.
Because had I played Witcher 3, I might have voted for The Witcher 3.
I didn't expect Sunless Sea to sound so enticing. I haven't played either of them, so.
Okay.
You know.
It often happens when Mick pitches and I pitch, and Mick is just way better at this.
Taylor, I want to hear your sob story because I might actually sob tonight, okay?
True.
It's okay, guys. It's just the Yearlies.
Yeah, no one should take it personally.
It's the fucking most important thing of our lives.
Our last bracket. Tom Calancy's Rainbow Six.
Did you say Calancy?
Tom Clanky's Rainbow Six.
No, what was that?
Say that
said...
again and
Jordan, did you just Mr. Coffee it?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I said Tom Calancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
He's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. No, what am I doing on purpose? I'm just saying Tom Calancy's Rainbow Six.
It's like Norm Macdonald saying Doberman Pinscher.
Yeah. Versus, and first of all, the Tom Clancy game is a Graham pick versus Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, which is a Christian pick. Who wants to go first in this one?
I'll go first.
Graham, you can go first.
Yeah, because this
Graham's
is gonna die fast.
And all right, Graham Calancy is going first.
Rainbow Six Siege is
hang on,
very.
Hang on, I got to start the countdown.
Whoa,
Starting in 3, 2, 1, Graham.
Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege is a very good game that a lot of you are just gonna write off because of the first-person shooter.
I like first-person shooters.
So do I. Taylor's the one who's gonna write it off, but like,
yeah,
because make you sound like an asshole like that.
No, I'm not saying you're an asshole. Like, no. I'm not saying like it's not your type of game. Am I wrong?
I like first-person shooters, but I like specific types of first-person shooters. I've learned that about myself. Tom Clancy is not one of them.
Yeah, this is a very hardcore, realism-focused tactical shooter.
Yeah, I hate every single one of those words.
But it is insanely fun. It's almost like a hero shooter in that you're playing as like different operators with specific gear who then react to specific situations. You either play as attacker or defender. Attackers have to scout out they get 2 minutes to scout out the map to find out where the defenders have either a hostage or a bomb or 2 bombs. And then you have to either, as attacker, defuse the bombs or rescue the hostage, or as defender, obviously keep that from happening. But you also have permadeath, so it's not advised, but you could try to play as a traditional shooter where you go in and just try to shoot everybody that moves.
It's more like a CS:GO type game than a Call of Duty game, probably.
A little.
It's more like Payday the Heist.
I see.
Like, as in, it's like this very tactical first-person shooter. Like, it's really focused on like the tactics involved rather than.
And pretty much every surface in the maps are destructible, so you could get shot from anywhere. So yeah, you have. That's also another thing keeping you from just running dead, because once you die, you're out.
If you die in the game, you die for real.
Yes.
If you die in the video game, you die for real.
Tom Clancy rises from his grave and slashes at you with his sights attached to his hands.
Exactly. It's a Calancy-filled calamity.
Yeah.
You're having a lot of fun, aren't you, Jordan?
I don't understand what you guys are so amused about. This is a Tom Calancy game.
You guys being really mean to the former owner of the Baltimore Orioles.
It had admittedly like rocky start from what I understand, but it's like one of those games that just took its rocky start but was able to turn it into something spectacular. Like, it's still getting updates and new players to this day. Yeah, it's a very good game.
Yeah. Okay. We have another minute before we can do the other games. So any other thoughts on this Tom Clancy game, or was it just Graham?
I've actually played Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege before.
Ooh.
I played it at a buddy's house, and it's okay. I don't necessarily love it, but I don't hate it. I feel like my problem with games like Rainbow Six is that if you're not the person, if you don't like get it on launch or very soon to launch and like grow in skill with everyone else who's also playing online, if you jump in late, you're going to do very bad, and it's a very harsh learning curve because everyone else already knows how to play the game.
That's how I feel about a lot of multiplayer games.
Yeah,
what? You absolutely can. But I mean, like, I guess for me personally, with first-person shooters, I'm already at a disadvantage because I'm playing a first-person shooter. So jumping into it, especially like now, is just something that's really tough for me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked to play. Yeah, no, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, Clanky. I would have liked to play Rainbow Six Siege. It's too late now.
Yeah, I agree.
It'd be like me joining the Marines now.
It'd be like anyone joining the Marines. Can we also pivot towards the other game in this? Keep talking and nobody explodes.
So, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is a mixed reality, multiplayer, cooperative game. Where
I think it's our first VR game.
Asymmetrical.
Oh, no, I said mixed reality, not virtual reality. So
it's not a VR game.
It's not a VR game?
There's a VR version, but it's not like a VR game.
I've never played the... Well, I played the VR version once. Basically, one person sits in front of the computer, where there is a bomb. A bomb with a ticking timer that is going to explode. Everyone else must face away from the television, or whatever they're playing on, and have a physical manual in front of them. Which has like 20-something chapters for every single module that you can find on the bomb, and you basically have to communicate with the bomb diffuser and be like, all right, bomb diffuser, what's the first module? Simple wires. Simple wires, where's the page for simple wires? It's right here. How many wires are there? 6 wires. What color is the 4th wire? It's yellow. Snip the 5th wire. And then they say yay, or they blow up. And that's basically the whole game. That's basically the entire game. And they expand upon that. 4 pages of missions that you can do, where you have bombs that get progressively more difficult, modules that are much more challenging to work with, like Morse code modules, password modules, where you have to literally guess a fucking cipher of a password. And that one always sucks. They're my favorite because I was always the best at it, and everyone would give me this role, was complicated wires. I was always the complicated wires guy, and it's like the page is like 4 Venn diagrams put on top of each other, and you have to like piece your way through each of the 4 segments of the Venn diagram, and it's like, it's blue and red wires with striped with a star, and it's like you have to figure out like what that even means, and it's like, that's not even talking about the exotic bombs where every single bomb, like every module on the bomb is a password, or every module is a complicated wire, and like the exotic bombs are just so much fun. There's also the modules that you need to like solve in a certain time, like the needy knobs. Oh my god, the needy knobs! Don't even get me started on the needy knobs. This game is loads of fun. Every time I've played it, we've always been super chill with each other. Like, whenever anyone screws up, it's like, you know what happens to the best of us. Let's try it again. You know, we often, like, switch off which modules we tend to cover, and we pass pages to each other. And it is an incredibly fun multiplayer experience. Like,
cool.
Like wholeheartedly, like an amazing idea and an amazing execution of a multiplayer game. And it has a VR mode.
Ooh.
And I always wanted to play the game where someone plays in VR, and if the bomb blows up, they get shot with a Nerf gun.
Well, I'm not playing with you.
I like the idea of literally having them explode.
Yeah.
Can I just say, meet in the middle. Water balloons.
Water balloons is a good idea.
No.
Taylor, you said no to the fucking Nerf gun. You're definitely saying no to the water balloon.
Well, I've been pelted with water balloons just at random, and it's not fun.
Yeah. This won't be at random. It's gonna be when you're a failure.
Well, it's every minute of every day, buddy.
No, not allowed.
Do we have any last thoughts on either of these two games?
I would like to talk about Keep Talking really quick.
Yes.
Okay, keep talking.
Yeah, and then hopefully none of us explode. But yeah, I just think it's like a great example of like one of those like hectic games where everyone's constantly trying to scream over each other to figure out how to like work to it. It's like a co-op game, but your enemy is each other. It's very unique in that sense, because if the person on the bomb is bad at describing things, or if the person like with the manual is bad at explaining directions, like this game becomes a lot harder. It's such a good game. Keep Talking. It's one of the best like games to play when you're over somebody's house and you're looking for like a fun time.
Cool. Awesome.
I'm gonna be honest, the more I think about it, the more this game feels like it doesn't need to be a video game at all, and that you could just do like a tabletop or board game out of this and have the same experience.
The video game aspect, like if you snip wires in a board game, how are you gonna reassemble the wires?
Milton Bradley finds a way.
No, they won't.
I don't know, like the whole exploding thing would be pretty tough to do for like a board game.
Oh, you make a boom sound effect.
How are you gonna do?
You just everybody at the table just goes bang.
You also can't really randomize the modules in the same. Like, look, you could do it. It just wouldn't be as easy and simple as the video.
I think it would be incredibly difficult to set up, but inherently, I think it could be done.
Yeah. Oh no, it could be done. Like, it could definitely be done. I'm just, it's. Yeah.
You can make like one bomb.
Make one bomb.
Yeah, you could explode the one time.
We don't need multiple bombs.
You could also make Mario Party a board game if you really rework something.
Hey,
you want to lose all your friends,
Clanky.
yeah.
Huh?
I tried.
It's tough.
I also did it. I made Mario Party a board game.
Mariana Fiesta.
Yes.
Are we ready to vote, or is anything else?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
All right. Taylor, you're up first.
I really don't care about this one. I'll level with you. I'll probably give it to Keep Talking, because I don't like Tom Clancy.
It's pronounced Tom Calancy.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Christian, you go.
I didn't give my thoughts about Tom Clanky's Rainbow Six Siege, so I'll go into it a little bit more in depth. Tom Clancy, never played it. I played CS:GO, couldn't get into it. I don't like co-op shooters. I co-op shooters are hard.
I'm sorry, what was that? Left 4 Dead?
Well, Left 4 Dead. I like co-op.
TF2.
I like co-op shooters that TF2. Okay, I don't like co-op shooters that I have to be good at, because if I have to be good at a co-op shooter, then I'm not going to be, and then everyone is going to hate me for being bad and they want me off their team. This has happened in Valorant, CS:GO. There's another one that I played. Warzone. Like, this happens in so many different first-person shooters that have co-op elements to them, and I just like playing first-person shooters alone, honestly. So I'm gonna vote for Keep Talking.
Okay. Mick.
I'm voting for. Again, like I said, I'm kind of with Clanky. I would have loved to have played Rainbow Six Siege when it was out, and then I probably wouldn't have been able to keep up, and I probably would have stopped playing it. I'd love the idea of playing it with a bunch of friends in like a LAN party or something, but like not online getting into it. So I'm gonna vote. And also, I just really like Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes. I posted a video on the voice channel, and it's an animation of Jerma and Joel playing it, and it's hilarious. I also have something else related that I want to share. I'm voting for Keep Talking, incidentally. If you ever want to watch someone playing Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes when their first language is not English, please, even if you're not into VTubers, check this video out. It's hilarious.
I'm not sure if I've seen this one.
Oh god.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's what convinced Kyle to start watching Hollow.
Because obviously I've seen the Corona and Cali one, so...
Yeah, no. But this is like one of the... the editing is perfect. It's hilarious. Anyway.
Yeah. Calancy.
It's going to keep talking. I love that game.
That's for Grahamour.
Tom Clancy.
It's Tom Calancy. 4-1 to keep talking and nobody explodes. That was a like 2.5 hour first round.
We'll have to trim it down next time.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, I
was
a little
I'll say again, I think it was because there needed to be a lot more pitching, and we didn't argue as much. If you'll notice, other than The Witcher 3, not a lot of hearts were broken just yet.
So we go to the losers bracket first. Hopefully these will be a little tidier. Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain versus Rocket League. Anything additionally to say about these two? Christian, your vote.
Metal Gear Solid 5 has We're the Kids in America, and that got me like back into that song.
It's a great song. The original Kim Wilde version is the best.
I think that's the version they played, maybe.
It is. It'd be weird if it was another one, because Metal Gear Phantom Pain takes place in like the 80s or 90s or something, right?
Although I will say, Dave Grohl did a really good version of it before he joined the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
As much as I really liked my time with Rocket League, I probably would like I'm gonna play through the Metal Gear series at some point in my life. So,
So is Graham.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm going to say Metal Gear Solid 5 on this one.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, Christian, that was not to discount your claim. That was just a reminder that Graham has still not finished Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
I
Graham.
got an emulator, GameCube emulator. I was gonna download Twin Snakes, but then I saw there's something in the emulator that says, "Hey, just so you know, if you try to play Twin Snakes or Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, there's gonna be a lot of crashes." And I'm like, well, those are the games I'm downloading this thing for.
Great. I think that a lot of people do. Mick is up.
I'm gonna vote for Phantom Pain, even though I have played Rocket League. I've only played 5 hours, and I like Rocket League.
Clanky, yes.
I am going to be giving it to Rocket League.
Okay. Graham?
Metal Gear.
Yeah. Taylor?
Yeah, I gotta go Metal Gear.
Okay, 4-1. Easy. I think I know how this next one's gonna go, although you guys proved me wrong. Super Mario Maker versus Total War Attila. Any additional thoughts on these?
You could probably make a Total War Attila game in Super Mario Maker.
If you wanted to.
That is a gross oversimplification, but honestly, I'd love to see someone try. I would really love to see it tried.
Listen, I watched Rubber Ross fail to make a Zelda game in Super Mario Maker, so...
Hey, and then he did it in Super Mario Maker 2.
It's still exactly a Zelda game.
He tried. He worked very hard.
Oh, very talented. Still not the same.
By the way, it is possible for people to use Mario Maker as a way of sort of backdooring themselves into a game career. And I only know this next bet because of watching Game Grumps, but one of the creators of an early course that got shared and downloaded a lot was Dan Salvato, who would later go on to do Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, he did the levels first?
He did 1 or 2 levels that got at least played by either that was first or at the same time, but that was before a lot of people knew about Doki Doki.
Okay, I'd have to look into that, but if so, that's interesting.
Yeah, so anybody can be on there.
And then he made a visual novel.
Yep. We shall vote. Christian.
So, as much as Total War Attila did seem interesting to me, I've raved on and on and on about video game creation tools, so much so that I supported WarioWare DIY. It would be almost hypocritical of me to not vote for Super Mario Maker. So I'm voting for Super Mario Maker.
Okay,
what this DIY fucking shaming, man?
You're telling me.
Hey, if we want to talk about DIY, Mick, you felt defeat at DIY's hand. What are you doing here?
Oh no, I'm voting for Total War Attila, but I have nothing against Super Mario Maker.
I was trying to drum up some conflict, but apparently that's not going to.
Stir the pot at 12:30 in the morning.
Clanky.
Don't worry, the pot is going to be stirred soon.
Oh yeah, believe me.
Super Mario Maker.
Yes. Graham.
Total War Attila.
And the tiebreaker is Taylor.
Yeah, it's kind of a crime that I haven't played more Super Mario Maker or any Super Mario Maker, but I know I like it more.
Yeah. 3-2. Super Mario Maker. Fallout 4 versus Splatoon. If it can't even beat Splatoon, then I'm just gonna start sobbing.
I don't know. This one's kind of hard.
Can I get my vote out of the way?
I can vote really quickly, actually, and then you can go straight to yours. I'm going to vote for Fallout 4.
Thank you. Mick?
I'm also voting for Fallout 4.
You see? Like-minded individuals. Clanky?
Sorry, Jordan, I'm giving it to Splatoon.
It's all right. My misfortune's about to really hit. Graham?
Fallout 4.
Oh, never mind then.
Taylor. I never played Splatoon.
Fallout 4 you know what? Fallout 4 anyways.
And just like that.
I invested a lot more time into Fallout 4 than I did Splatoon.
Just like that.
I should say, by the way,
wild card doesn't die in the
yeah. I should say, by the way, the reason I wound up stopping playing Fallout 4 was because I was 5 hours into a build of my secret base, and the game crashed, and I just didn't have the heart to go on. It did not or it did autosave, but too far back.
All right.
And then I just never played again because I was so heartbroken.
Speaking of heartbroken.
Witcher 3 Wild Hunt versus Tom Calancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Any further comments on these?
I think we can just vote.
You can fist fight. You can horse race.
Taylor, you don't have to fight.
But enough about all the things you can do on cocaine.
Here's what you can do in The Witcher.
Christian, go.
Look, it's The Witcher 3. Like, come on.
Yeah. Mick.
Witcher 3.
Clanky.
I'm giving it to The Witcher.
Graham.
Witcher 3.
Really?
Yeah.
And Taylor.
All right, that's nice. A nice 5-0. That makes me feel better.
Oh.
Why you were so worried?
You know what? Do you really expect me not to be with these?
Now you know how I felt back when
Tom Clancy gets
again, you have
Robert.
to get in the mindset of not fucking caring because it makes no difference.
Hey, listen. At least some of your choices have won.
You got Sunless Sea.
No.
And
I mean,
Warhammer.
like, won a tournament.
Didn't you get Sid Meier's?
That is true. We did get.
I don't think I nominated that. Oh, had we done it normally? I chose like weird third-party picks. That wasn't one of mine.
Yeah, but you probably would have put Civ on your.
Yeah.
Maybe, probably. Yeah.
Right. Let's go right back into the regular bracket. King's Quest versus Bloodborne. I think I know what's going to happen here.
I'd like to take a few seconds because I didn't get to talk about Bloodborne back when we
say
did
some
Bloodborne
things
the
then.
first time. So Bloodborne is my 15th favorite game of all time. It is some of the most. It was a genre of game that I didn't even think I really knew I wanted. But when you get into it and you explore Bloodborne's world, when you see the giant pile of snakes or the boss that's comprised of 1,000 eyes on its head and like 8 arms.
I hate that. Ew, no, please.
Okay, fine.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna like it. The majority of like the big endgame bosses have multiple eyes covering them.
One of the things about Bloodborne, we brought up Dark Beast Parl earlier, and one of the things about Dark Beast Parl is he is a giant skeleton werewolf that shoots electricity at you. And first of all, that's amazing. But secondly, you see this giant werewolf, and you think to yourself, how does it move around? How did they program the limbs to move around like that? And it's dynamic. It cowers in fear when you take away its electricity, like it cowers in like a corner. And how does it move there? They take this giant model and they make it so into this complex, integral series. The Soulsborne touch with bosses is heavily apparent in Bloodborne.
Yeah. Oh, so can I add something else to the Dark Beast Parl thing?
Yes.
And Dark Beast Parl is an optional boss that gives you nothing.
Yes.
It serves no purpose other than just free experience.
So you can only imagine how fucking good the required bosses are. And one last thing. Bloodborne is in my top 5 for favorite video game soundtracks. It is one that I think, Clanky, especially if you like Dark Souls 3, you would love Bloodborne's soundtrack. It'd be it is incredible. All these heavy orchestral pieces with like chanting or opera singing in the background, and it's like
that is my jam.
It's
Also, Dark Souls 3 plays more like Bloodborne than, in some ways, actually, than some of the other Dark Souls games. Actually,
that's all I have to say. By the way, I'm ready to vote.
Okay, then go for it.
I'm voting for King's Quest. No.
No.
The Bloodborne.
You know, I genuinely believed him for a second.
Christian, when you said that, my heart literally died in my chest.
I felt something too.
I broke out in a cold sweat. Like, that was the worst thing anyone has ever done to me.
Alright, that's a little mean to King's Quest, but...
No. It's look.
I know
like
why you felt that way specifically.
Yeah.
Mick, is your turn.
Bloodborne.
Figured. Clanky.
It's gonna be Bloodborne.
Okay. Graham.
Bloodborne.
Taylor.
I'm sorry, guys. King's Quest.
Okay, 4-1.
Okay, with no 5-0s, as long as it gets to have a very fun time, which is what I'm projecting for Bloodborne.
Another obvious one. Undertale versus Cities Skylines.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Any further things to say about these?
Poor Cities Skylines.
Besides that.
Bum, 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 bum,
Let's just go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel bad, but I'm going to switch it to Mick's turn now because I forgot to do it at the end of the list. Mick, you are going first.
I'm voting for City Skylines.
Yes, I figured. Clanky.
I love City Skylines. I'm giving it to Undertale.
Graham.
Undertale.
Taylor.
We come from a tail down under.
And Christian.
I'm voting for King's Quest. No.
4-1.
Oh, I can't wait. And by I can't
right.
wait, I mean I can wait a very long time for that round.
Oh boy. Well, we're gonna just do all of the losers ones, I think, before we do that one.
Yeah.
Warhammer End Times Vermintide versus Life is Strange. Any further comments on these?
I don't think so.
Yes,
Okay.
but one specifically for when Clanky and I are alone.
Okay.
Oh my.
Oh, how steamy.
No, I mean, well, interpret it any way you want. Just like anything
when
else.
I think of getting someone alone, I just think of just like turning off the lights and talking about Life is Strange.
Well, I mean,
Graham, that's how I worked on
That is
you,
quite
right?
strange.
Yeah.
That's safe for television.
Mick, you are leading this one off.
Vermintide.
Okay. Clanky.
Life is Strange.
Figured. Graham.
Life is Strange.
Okay. Taylor.
The Yearlies are strange.
And Christian.
I'm going Vermintide.
Okay. 3-2 Life is Strange.
I'm so proud at how well Life is Strange is doing. I really thought it was getting eliminated at the losers bracket.
Wow. Well, it might go ridiculously far. Sunless Sea versus Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Anything else to say about these before we throw them together?
I don't think so.
Okay. Mick?
Sunless Sea.
All right. Clanky.
Keep Talking.
Mm-hmm. Graham?
Sunless Sea.
Taylor?
Come back to me.
Christian?
Shit, this one's hard. This one is not easy. A game that I've played versus a game that I haven't. But the game that I haven't sounds so goddamn good that I have to give it to Sunless Sea.
Wow. Okay, and Taylor for Prosperity.
Not the word, but yeah.
No, I made the same mistake in the 2010. I said Prosperity.
It's difficult over two things. Again, don't really care all about it.
Taylor, do you think you could give us? Do you think you could give us your vote through a like a cheerleader's microphone, so that we could maybe have a little bit of a worse quality?
I just asked if my mic was a problem.
Well, it got bad, but now you're
Okay,
better again.
Hang on.
No, you're better again now.
Am I
You're
better?
Good, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
All right, Mick. Is there any chance of me liking Sunless Sea?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, good enough. All right, that one.
Oh, it was that easy.
Keep Talking got
4-1.
slaughtered.
Okay. Down to the losers bracket. So this next one, Clanky will start. King's Quest versus The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Unless anybody has any comments, we're starting with Clanky.
This is tough because The Witcher, I feel like, for me, is going to be like Dark Souls in the sense of it's a game that I really don't have any interest, but then I play it and I'm like, holy shit, this is one of the best games
Yeah,
ever
no,
made.
Clanky, and let me just say, I am not... The world of The Witcher 3 should not appeal to me, and it somehow does.
Fair enough. Dude, but I do really want to try King's Quest, but I feel like I anticipate The Witcher 3 being a game that I'm going to love more, so I'm going to say The Witcher 3.
Okay. Graham.
I have to give The Witcher 3.
Yeah. Taylor?
As scared as I am for this being a 5-0, I still have to go Witcher 3.
Yeah. Christian?
Witcher 3.
And Mick?
I'm voting... Am I the deciding vote?
No, it's already 4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 4-0. Yeah, Witcher.
King's Quest.
He said Witcher.
Okay, so it's a 5-0.
But also that's a testament to The Witcher 3 getting its proper praise. I'm sorry, King's Quest. Like, honest to God, I'm just glad I got a chance to talk about you.
It's the theme to Hawaii 5-0. That's why I did it.
That's the theme to Hawaii 5-0.
I hear it now. I hear it now.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Yeah.
It's
It's not that I don't hear it. It's that I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, that one video where the guy plays like the 6 drums.
Okay. Cities Skylines versus Fallout 4. Honestly, I don't know. Clanky.
I'm giving it to Cities.
Yeah. Graham.
Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm. Taylor.
Let's see if we can keep this going. Fallout 4.
Christian.
I want you to know this is by like the width of a hair is the difference between how much I am voting for Fallout 4 over City Skylines. Like that is the difference between these two.
Wow. And Mick for Prosperity.
City Skylines.
Okay, 3-2.
Rest in peace.
Is it prosperity or posterity?
It's posterity.
It's posterity.
I did it wrong that time. I don't know how words work.
No, I thought I was the
it's
weird
because
one.
In the 2010 video, you can
Not
hear
here.
me say prosperity a few times, and it's like...
Yeah. Warhammer End Times Vermintide versus Super Mario Maker. Oof, okay. Clanky.
I am giving it... Oh, God, this is kind of fucked.
Right,
I'm giving it to Mario Maker.
Yeah. Graham.
Probably Warhammer.
Okay. Taylor.
Could probably make a Warhammer End Times Vermintide level in Mario Maker. Mario Maker.
Yeah, okay. Christian.
So I am basically deciding who wins here, and
Kind of.
it is again a kind of tough decision. The argument went on for a long time, but now finally Super Mario Maker stamps out Left 4 Dead with Rats. Super Mario Maker.
And Mick, I assume you would have gone for Warhammer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 3-2. And Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes versus Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Clanky starts us off.
Keep Talking.
Mm-hmm. Graham.
Colonel. Metal Gear.
Yeah. Taylor.
Gear.
Mm-hmm. Christian.
Keep Talking.
Ooh, and it's down to Mick.
If I can make an argument at all, since we still technically can do that, I feel like there's probably more depth to Metal Gear Solid 5 than Keep Talking.
But
I'm not going to argue that, but Keep Talking definitely, I don't know, it's such a fun game to play.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I'm really trying, because, like, you know, this is kind of like comparing, like...
But like, as a complete package, I feel like maybe it's lacking a little.
But think of the fun that you have
disagree.
watching people play Keep Talking as well, which is also...
No, don't. I don't even factor in watching people play when I'm considering these things.
Okay.
Also, I don't like watching people play it.
Like, so I'm basically... So here's my thing. Keep Talking is basically a party game, and it's a really different kind of experience.
Yeah.
And
Can I say one more thing that might sway you, Mick?
yes.
All right, so you know how you like how in stealth games where if you get caught, you're basically fucked? Like, you can technically escape, but you're like the chances of survival are limited?
Yeah.
So Metal Gear Solid 5, they give you one chance. Basically, if you get caught, everything slows down, and you are able to take out the person who spotted you with your very precise shoot. If you fuck that up and get caught, you're probably not going to make it out alive.
There's not enough of those games. Metal Gear Solid 5 for Phantom Pain. I'm sorry, guys.
You can solve ciphers.
God damn it. God damn it.
It's the only argument I had.
Ciphers.
Wow.
It was a really good one, and it totally sold me.
I'll remember this.
Okay.
I'll remember this, Taylor. No,
Okay.
I'm not mad at you, Mick. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I should clarify, but I'll
Okay.
Do we want
Sorry, can I just say, if Keep Talking did win, that would have been fine. I just,
Do we
Metal
want
Gear
to
Solid 5 was my pick. So.
Do we want to do losers bracket first up here, or do we want to do the
Yeah,
regular
losers
ones?
bracket would technically be next.
Okay, so Fallout 4 versus The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
All right, so Mick made a comparison to this earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Graham's turn, right?
Hey.
Yeah.
Witcher 3.
Okay, Taylor.
Jordan, I apologize. I hope
Okay,
Fallout 4 did
I'm
better
not
than
gonna
you
worry about
hoped.
it.
It's got to go Witcher 3.
Yeah, it's insurmountable. Christian.
Jordan, I also apologize.
It's okay. It made it further than I thought.
Yeah.
Mick.
Witcher 3. Even though I haven't played it,
And Clanky.
Yeah, it's gonna be Witcher.
That's nice. 3 clean sweeps.
It's funny how Jordan's the one we're all apologizing to, despite the fact that he has no emotional investment even in his picks.
No, he
I put
asked
it on
me
because it was a
which one to
popular
pick.
game.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of funny. Anyway.
Super Mario Maker versus Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. We start with Graham.
Metal Gear.
Uh-huh. Taylor.
I've played Metal Gear Solid 5, and for a very long time at that. Maybe I could see myself liking Mario Maker more, but the fact that Mario Maker 2 exists also helps me push for Metal Gear Solid 5 a little more.
Okay, Christian.
Wait a second. What am I trying to say? Super Mario Maker. That's the one.
Okay. Mick.
Metal Gear Solid.
Okay. And Clanky for Prosperity.
Mario Maker.
3-2.
All
So
right.
let's all take a very deep breath. Remember that this is the Yearlies. This is just a bunch of people batting around games for the fun of it. Not life or death. Bloodborne versus Undertale. Which, if this was bracketed differently, would have been the final two. We start with Graham.
Please, can I make a request? If you are voting for Undertale or even Bloodborne, please don't make any jokes. Just vote.
Okay.
Undertale.
Taylor.
Undertale.
Christian.
Undertale.
Nick. And Clanky.
Undertale.
Not a dry eye in the house, folks. It really does.
Jordan is right. These are the final two.
Honestly, yeah.
If the last Yearlies was defined by confusion, this would be defined by sadness.
Heartbreak.
Yeah. It's not an easy choice.
We are literally killing our darlings. This is the
Here's-
point. Because we're getting to the point where we're like getting to college ages where we're making decisions and we're realizing what we love about video games and what we value, and these are the games that we feel the best about. And
Absolutely,
these are also
having
really
that
good games.
passion, having that passion is great.
Yeah, like when my third favorite game of all time got killed in losers after 2 rounds, it sucks. It does suck.
What was that game again?
Binding of Isaac.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
So
forgot that did that badly.
yeah.
Holy.
No, and then my other 2 favorite
Can I
games.
just say, the thing that pains me the most isn't Bloodborne losing. It's Bloodborne losing to Undertale.
Yeah.
That's what stings.
You gotta. I think, Mick, you can take away this. It is all up to the 5 people you choose to ask. You ask another 5 people.
That's
This
fair,
goes
that's fair,
very
that's fair,
differently.
Yeah.
I'll also level with you, Mick. I kind of thought Bloodborne was going to win anyways.
Don't do that to me.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to hurt you.
I will say this. The bracket is young, and everybody loves a 1,000,000-to-1 comeback.
Yeah.
So
I want Bloodborne to come.
And who knows? Suddenly some of you might become the world's biggest Life is Strange fans, suddenly.
I want Bloodborne to fucking...
We have still some bracket to play, and...
Yeah. Let's not linger in it. Let's...
Yeah. Okay. Life is Strange versus Sunless Sea. Obviously a less strong matchup. Graham, you're up.
Sunless Sea.
Okay. Taylor.
Life is Strange.
Okay. Christian.
Sunless Sea.
Damn it. Oh!
Mick.
Sunless Sea.
And Clanky.
I'm sorry, Clanky too. It made it far.
It did, and like I said before, I was not expecting it to even last this long. So I'm just happy that it's even.
Can I just say, Clanky? I'm in the exact same boat as Sunless Sea. I thought that was gonna die in losers because I wasn't aware Graham had played it, and I wasn't aware I was that good of a pitcher.
I never would have called
playing it.
Graham, I have almost no memory of any conversation we have ever had.
That
was way
harder
than I.
What on earth?
Why did I say that? Why did I say that? That's not even true. I just for some reason, like, my mind was like, okay, Mick, go aggressive. For some reason.
And you called me the bad friend.
Graham, that was a Mass Effect choice he just had to make.
That's exactly what happened. My mind was like, you can either you can either say, oh yeah, that's right. You can either say, oh yeah, guess it did happen, or the aggressive option. I never remember. I don't even know who you are. You cannot kill me in a way that matters.
Sunless Sea beats Life is Strange 3-2.
Hey Mick, you want to get lunch?
I'm glad we're going from immense heartbreak to I don't remember who you are.
Yeah. By the way, Graham, I have to say, I thought of you the other day because
nice.
My friend Bella sent me a Snapchat of the fucking Roadworks Ahead sign.
Nice.
My mind, like, you are so tied to that phrase in my head.
Ridiculous.
It does.
I never would have called it the final. I mean, I would have called Undertale, but I never would have called Sunless Sea would be the final two in the regular bracket.
Oh, you know what? That is crazy. Holy shit!
This is weird. How is this?
Like, I didn't even realize we were that far in this bracket.
It's It's kind of like how Burger King got third place.
It's so weird. Like I gotta be honest with you. Like, to me, this round is like all about the losers bracket.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of...
Me too. I'm totally invested. Like, I want to play 3 of the 4 games in losers bracket. And like, I mean, Sunless Sea I love, but like, it's odd. It's really weird.
Yeah, like. Oh, yeah. All right, let's just go right into it then.
Okay, Bloodborne versus Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain. When did I last switch? It should be Taylor's turn, right?
I think you switched 2 times ago? No, actually, yeah, no, it should be Taylor's. You're right.
Taylor. All right.
If you want Taylor to go, Taylor will go.
I want Taylor to go. Is that okay?
Okay.
Taylor?
Yeah, sure. Taylor will go. Taylor
okay,
doesn't
good,
mind.
Taylor.
Listen, Again, I recently decided maybe one day I will get into Souls, and if I do, I kind of imagine Bloodborne. If I like Souls games, then I feel like Bloodborne would be one of the ones I like more. But I've put a lot of time into the Phantom Pain, and I really often seldom the experience of it by like remembering how much I was rushing through it and not taking in the sights. So when I have a chance to sit back and just think about the experience, it's easier for me. There's a lot to offer in Metal Gear Solid 5, and I did have a really good time with it. So I have to go for the one I actually played.
Okay. Christian.
It's Bloodborne.
Okay, good. Mick, I imagine.
Bloodborne.
Yeah. Clanky.
Bloodborne.
And Graham.
Bloodborne.
4-1 Bloodborne. It stays alive. Sorry, Snake. Life is Strange versus The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Kind of funny how I ended up here.
Sorry,
okay?
Clanky. I won't be nice to Life is Strange anymore.
You don't need to say it like that. You can just still pretend to be nice.
It's all right. I lost my darling lance.
The silver sword comes out now.
I did just say how proud I was of it.
Yeah. Taylor?
It's The Witcher 3.
Uh-huh. Christian?
It is King's Quest. The Witcher 3.
Holy shit, King's Quest, come back!
That's the last time, I swear that's the last time I'm making that joke, because now it's
keep
not
doing
funny
anymore. Mick.
Witcher 3.
Clanky.
Let's rip this band-aid off now. Life is strange.
And Graham.
Witcher 3.
4-1. So
you know what? Hey, Clanky, I want you to look at it this way, and I'm not trying to give you like the I'm not trying to showboat. It took Life is Strange to stop Witcher 3 from having clean sweeps.
You know what? Fair enough.
Life is Strange is the only one in the losers bracket that got to not put a notch. It's like they're in court and like
because I put it there.
No, but Witcher 3 is the prosecutor that never loses a case, and then Life is Strange is the earnest defense attorney who gets them one demerit.
Oh my god!
How the hell did Sunless Sea beat Witcher 3? I'm really confused. I have no idea. I feel. Can I just say it kind of feels this? It almost feels like it's the fucking Hangover, where we all woke up and the bracket was like this. It's like, how did that get there?
Where's Doug?
Pretty much. Am I missing a tooth?
Wait, what did you say, Taylor?
Have you not seen the movie?
He said, "Where's Doug?"
Oh, no.
That's the guy that goes missing, right?
Yeah.
I have not seen the movie. No.
Okay, I have.
I thought you were making a reference to, Doug, the Disney Channel series.
Yeah, the video game of that was not in 2015.
Well, first it was a Nickelodeon series, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't remind me.
What? The Nickelodeon version was great.
I prefer the Disney version, actually.
Really?
Yes, I know.
Interesting.
Cleaner heart style. Also, I think I watched more of the Disney version than I did the Nickelodeon version.
I watched the Disney movie.
It's not a bad movie, but
it's also not a good movie.
This one also could have been the final. Bloodborne versus Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We start with Taylor.
Say Witcher?
Was that a very quiet Witcher 3?
I kind of feel like I know where this is going to go, and I think by this merit, Witcher 3 may not even get third place, and that's going to hurt.
Listen, I'm tempted to vote for Witcher 3 on the off chance that it might beat Undertale.
Don't do that.
He did that last time.
It's still going to lose because I think Taylor's going to choose Undertale, and also
are you sure?
No, yeah. I'm not
sure. That's what I'm not sure about.
Also in here are the two guys in the call who are the two guys who wouldn't stop talking about Undertale in college. So I think I know where they're voting. Or high school, sorry. No, they didn't talk about Undertale in college at all.
No, they did.
Yeah, that would have got them beaten up.
They just weren't advertised as such.
How do you know what I did in college?
I was there.
Clanky,
we were all there.
Do you not?
Right,
Clanky, do you not remember our time at Frat Alpha Sigma Papyrus?
Yeah, Clanky. We met in the parking. Clanky. We met in the parking lot, and I started to tell you about Mr. Driller. Remember?
I don't remember being this high in college.
You
went
with making Christian Halloween dressed as clowns to see the White House.
You don't remember the time we went to Grillby's?
I feel like I'm getting gaslit.
Okay, can I say, all of these jokes, I actually have no fucking clue what Grillby's is. I have no memory of whatever this is.
Clanky, can I just tell you that what Graham said about going to see the Lighthouse dressed as clown is something that actually happened with Christian and Mick and me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, and here's the best bit about it, Clanky. The Joker was in the theaters at the time, and we walked up, stone-faced. 3 tickets to the Lighthouse, please.
The funniest part, I pull up. I drove from Jersey to pick them up and take them to the movies. They didn't tell me they were going to do this, so I pull up to the apartments and I see coming over the horizon 2 clowns.
I have my favorite images. Where's one just me dressed as McCree and then Mick in the background holding the horn.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
I tell that story to people all the time because this is the thing, Jordan. We basically did exactly an old Mock the Week bit about going to the
Vader.
open. Yeah, going to dressing up as Darth Vader, going to the theaters and asking for 2 tickets to Da Vinci Code.
During the Harry Potter premiere. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what we did. Anyway.
Oh my god.
So was the vote for Witcher?
If only I had voted, then I put my vote for Witcher.
Yes, and Christian.
You underestimate the fear that is within my heart right now. I'm voting for Bloodborne.
Okay. Mick.
Come back to me.
Okay. Clanky.
I'm voting for Bloodborne.
Graham.
Witcher.
Mick.
Mick, vote for what you believe in.
Yes, obviously. So I believe in.
And Mick, let me just say, even if you do this in a way that you hope Witcher 3 can beat Undertale, I don't know which way I'm going to go, but even if I go the way you want, I can't guarantee everyone will go that way.
Why would you knock out your favorite game of all time?
For the same reason For the same reason I would shoot myself to kill Hitler. Okay.
That's not.
But he had a great ale house.
This is not
Undertale. Undertale is the Dark Souls of Hitler.
What?
Okay.
Dude, it's a game about making friends! What are you talking about?
I don't know anymore. I'm ballooning.
Vote with your heart.
I
Not
drop
because of
Bloodborne.
Undertale.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne it is.
I'm gonna submit the scores in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, man.
Submitted. It was Bloodborne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
So, before we... Oh, God. Undertale versus Sunless Sea. We go to...
You guys can make jokes if you want. I don't care about this one as much.
Okay, cool. Christian.
Overtale.
Okay.
Wait, do I vote
Mick.
first?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm voting for Sunless Sea.
Uh-huh. Clanky.
Undertale.
Graham.
Undertale.
Taylor.
Undertale.
What'd you call me? 4-1, which means, folks, once again, we come... Oh, no, before we do that, Sunless Sea versus Bloodborne.
How the hell did it last?
That's what I want to fucking know.
Third, if Undertale
You know what?
third and second are your
You know what?
picks.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm actually. You know what? I'm fine with this because at the end of the day, it's just because the rest of you like a terrible game, and I'm fine with that.
Ow, we're not allowed to be mean.
I'm joking.
This is just lapsing into personal abuse.
It's
As it always intended to. We start with Christian, Sunless Sea versus Bloodborne.
Look, Sunless Sea looks really, really cool. Bloodborne's my 15th favorite game of all time. It's Bloodborne.
Okay. Mick.
Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm. Clanky.
Bloodborne.
Graham.
Sunless Sea.
And Taylor.
He's played it.
How the fuck did Sunless Sea beat The Witcher 3?
I don't know.
Bloodborne.
I don't know either. I'm
4-1.
just as confused as you are.
And it is my solemn duty to report, once again, the final round, Undertale versus Bloodborne. I think everything that has been said about these two games has been said. I think everyone's allegiances, well, they may be up in the air, have been made known.
Everything has gone according to plan. This is my ideal bracket. No matter which one wins, I would be ecstatic.
Okay. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Christian.
So before I vote for Undertale, I'd like to exactly, the reason why is because as much as I love both games, eventually if I love games enough, I just have to look at it numerically. Bloodborne is 15, Undertale is 6. And as much as it hurts and as much as it pains me, because I want any excuse to make Bloodborne look amazing, I am voting for Undertale.
That's one. Mick.
Is it too late to vote for King's Quest?
Yes.
You son of a bitch! I was gonna make that joke.
I love all of you.
I knew one of us was, and I'm like, I gotta do it.
I assume you're going for Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, yeah. I don't like Undertale, and I don't understand the appeal. Nevertheless,
totally fine.
That's me with the Joker movie. I don't understand the appeal.
That's
of that
also
movie
totally fine, even if I disagree.
Yeah, how did it win? Even if it I haven't seen it, and so I don't know how good it is. How did it win an Oscar? I'm really confused about that.
Joaquin
Because
Phoenix.
People are stupid and don't know how to talk.
All right, I like
Green
that
Book,
movie.
anyway.
So.
Green Book won Best Picture. Not that year, but
Yeah,
still,
yeah,
the
I-
Oscars are all
Okay,
but a joke.
to be fair.
Can we finish this bracket?
Oh yeah,
first?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is up? Clanky is up.
Yeah, Undertale.
Graham.
Undertale.
Taylor.
I think these two games and The Witcher 3 are amazing representatives of the year 2015. Like, almost to the same degree that, like, when we did 2011 and Portal 2 won 2011 and it actually deserved to win that, I think that, like, this is, like, the canon bracket, except for Sunless Sea beating The Witcher 3. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, Witcher 3 fucking went in and had 3 5-0s. I think Witcher 3 may actually have the best track record of anything in any bracket, and it still is somehow in 4th place. But I digress. It's really, you know, I've only played one of these, so I kind of have to go with this either way. I'm gonna give it to Alan Wake.
We did it! We did it!
Folks, you know what that means?
Undertale.
That means the
Alan
winner
Wake.
of this bracket is
WarioWare DIY. Sorry, we both wanted to do our thing.
I loved both of those things, honestly, though they were
Yours
really
was better.
spectacular.
You guys know, like, the Jeb Bush meme where it says, like, Jeb and he's, like, in front of the map? Picture that, but with Wario and WarioWare DIY.
Can I just say?
Make that now. I have to say, I'm laughing so hard, I'm the one that's crying now. I'm in solidarity.
Wait, guys, hold on.
Yeah.
There's something interesting.
No.
You're all gonna need to see. I need to stream.
Is it
no.
King's Quest related?
No,
Oh,
guys,
no.
I shit you not. WarioWare DIY actually works.
What? Hang on, what?
He just changed the bracket entry.
WarioWare DIY actually works.
I can't believe